and soul of the game is at the Boxing Voice. Ain't no other sight in the game could see the Boxing Voice.
Today, are you tired of living with stained and worn out carpeting? Does the den look like bears spent the winter with you? Spring is here, and so is Empire Today's half off your project sale, starting now, but only for a limited time. Save 50% on a huge selection of carpet, hardwood, and laminate, standard padding and materials, and basic installation. Call the Empire Today half off your project sale hotline now.
1-855-385-0681.
Empire Today's free in-home estimates are easy and smart. Choose from high-quality flooring in the rooms where you'll use them, with your lighting, so you can see the color best. We'll do the measuring, you do the selecting and saving. But first, you must do the calling. Everyone loves the half off your project sale. Even bears. Call the Empire Today special hotline
1-855-385-0681. 1-855-385-0681.
Empire Today. Select styles. Details at EmpireToday.com.
You can go online though, right?
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans. Blood is good. Blood is emotion. Too much blood coming out of the eye. Blood is a story, a drama. Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye. Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion. Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still drawing. What we want is a bloody good fight tonight. We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love the script. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious? And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing. No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said? Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son. Are you fucking kidding me? He's overrated. You can push it for me right now. For the interview? Yeah. Don't get your hands go. Get out of here, Virgil. Go home. We're not. You want the title shot for free. He's not even honest. You want the title shot for free. BoxingVoice.com. This is why we use the word sensation.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. As you can see, my voice is a bit hoarse right now. It's all messed up, but that's because I had the opportunity to come out here to Vegas, cover some of the fight week and experience my first fight party, and it was amazing. We got together with a lot of the guys, things that we wouldn't normally do. Vic was there, Pete was there, Ryan O'Hara, Timothy Bartolini, and Robert, of course, the most gracious host that anybody can ask for. It was just a beautiful week altogether. Having this fight finally take place, it was it was amazing. You see, I'm not like these guys that took to social media and complained. I accepted what we witnessed, and instead of comparing this fight to Ali Frazier or whoever you want, right? Imagine what it was like for whoever was there to witness that fight. That's what it was for us last night, And I was at my first fight party, man. And this is why I always thank you guys for being a listener, because I would have never hung out and listen, this is nothing racist here, just where I'm from the inner city. So me hanging out with a Mexican in Newark, New Jersey is just not, almost not even possible because of the population, you know. There's definitely Ecuadorians out there, Puerto Ricans, a bunch of Dominicans, blacks and whites, you know. But growing up in my neighborhood, I don't even remember one Mexican. And here I was with like 50. And I got to experience something because I'm from the East Coast. So I got to experience a different culture, man. I mean, the hospitality, again, of these people was amazing. Everybody was very just taking me with open arms, bro. But the people, you know, there was a couple of you guys. Shout out to Jimmy, Chris. Man, who else was here? It was just so many people. Hailstorm was here. I mean, it was a fight party, but it was something epic for me because I never had the opportunity to watch a fight with that many knowledgeable people. Like, to the back of me, you know, it was like Tim and his two friends that he brought, and they're giving knowledgeable intake behind me, you know. Then you got your casual fans. Again, you guys probably done this. I've never been at a fight party, and I watch boxing alone with my wife whenever she feels like, but if not, you know, I'm watching it alone. I don't even want to talk. I don't like people yelling and all that, but it was different. I mean, you had your casual fans, Pacquiao, Pacquiao. I mean, going crazy. And then you had like just different ethnicities and nationalities. Everybody had their own opinions too. I mean, I think there was like a Filipino kid. He was one of James' boys because James brought like 16 or I think it was 18 people. I'm checking if he's on the queue here. He came up from Arizona, and he's actually probably just getting home or still driving. He said he was going to call in, and I hope that he does because, again, you know, me and James, we do this show forever, right? But we don't meet up that much. Last time I seen him was with Martinez Cotto, and he stood at my house. So, you know, it was just like getting together with a brother, man. But it was amazing when they put that first image on television. That right away I noticed that it had a Terminator ad on it. So wow, you know, big bucks. This whole fight was big bucks. This whole fight. Would we ever get to the magnitude of this fight again? You know, I know, again, a lot of you guys are like, it didn't live up to it. Not me. I was thankful to witness what I seen. I mean, I always said it was going to be easy. Paulie Malignaggi took a lot of shit, but my prediction was on air, and I said it'd be easy. I wanted Pacquiao to do something. Why? Because look at what we got in Mayweather. You know, even though it's disrespectful to rush him after such a big win, this was the guy. This was the guy that everybody thought could beat him. This was the savior, right? I mean, in this fight party, this is why I bring this fight party up, because in this fight party, that guy that I'm telling you about, dude, was built as hell too, but hammered, right? So he's like, yeah, let's go, Manny. And I'm like, oh, he's not going to win. And he's like, man, Pacquiao, I'm telling you. And I'm okay. And he was like, yeah, man, you got to root for Pacquiao. Look at him. Look at Floyd. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Look at him. Why is he the villain? Why is Pacquiao the one that's supposed to take us to the next level? Why not respect greatness? That fight was 10-2, 9-3, 8-4, whatever you want to score. It damn sure wasn't 7-5. It wasn't no 6-4. Nothing like that. I mean, this was a whitewash. A whitewash. And were there some things that we could complain about? And let's just take that into perspective, because we could complain about every single fight. Every single fight has something that we don't like, okay? Because perfect example is Kell Brook and Sean Porter, all right? Perfect example. On one hand, you got a guy that is coming forward, And on the other hand, you got a guy that is trying to stay on the outside, and there's holding involved. But you still had to score it for the guy you scored it for. Based on what? Punches landed. You know? Activity. But did you dislike the holding? Fuck yeah, I hated the holding because it changed the dynamic of the fight. But not in the fight last night. Mayweather put him in the headlock a few times. I'm not going to deny that because I'm not here to defend him. He had him in the headlock. He hit him when he had him in the headlock too, you know? But, okay, so we haven't seen that before. We haven't seen that before. I mean, he said it himself at the post-fight press conference. They're going to do whatever they got to do to get an advantage. And that's why catchweights are around. And that's why, you know, Cotto was fighting Gil at 157. Because why? Because he is the name. And if you want to fight him, hello? Uh-oh.
You're on.
Hey, Rob, you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I think my headphones might have messed up. So he is the name. And if you want to fight him, you gotta do what he says. It's just, that's the way it goes. Everybody goes through it. So that's why this fight went down the way it did. But it was evident. I mean, a lot of people thought this would happen. And a lot of people thought this would happen 5 years ago. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. I mean, the counter right hands were just crazy. You know, the left hook, his father was upset at him, and you can tell that in the corner. His father wanted him to throw the left hook a lot earlier, and also the uppercut, which the uppercut landed beautifully too. You know, and Pacquiao did some things. But let's be honest. That round where there was two flurries, you know, and they showed the highlight over and over because I watched the broadcast over and over. But they showed that highlight, right? And it's like almost all the punches to the head got blocked. He did land those two body shots, which were good. It seemed to me that Mayweather took them well. What I don't like is, can we give him some credit now for having a chin? Because I could swear that the Maidana punch looked like it hurt him more than anything Pacquiao landed. And I'm not discrediting Pacquiao because Pacquiao with one right jab, I mean, he hit Mayweather flat on a button, and that was a jab. The way that he lunges in, it was a jab that he hit him with, and he took him back to the ropes, you know? But I just never, and I wanted, every time that Mayweather had his guard up, I wanted to feel like, oh, maybe he's going to knock him out here. Maybe he is hurt. But, I mean, his recovery time is just crazy, man. I mean, how do you beat this dude right now? I just don't know. Robbie, but what's going on, brother? Let me bring you in on this.
Well, Ness, I scored it 10-2 for Mayweather. And as you all know, I was rooting for Pacquiao. But
not only were you rooting,
yeah.
you picked Pacquiao to win.
Absolutely.
You have to be clear about that.
Yeah, no.
You know? And while we're on that subject,
I'm never going to deny that, Ness.
No, but while we're on that subject, let me just help you.
Okay.
Tradition is tradition around here.
Yeah, no. I've been lucky enough to be around for a lot of the major fights. You know, all of the Fraser Ali Foreman. You name them, I've seen them. And, you know, all the so-called fights of the century. And, yeah, for the casual fans, it probably didn't live up to what it was supposed to be. But for those of us that are hardcore boxing fans, we have to give Floyd Mayweather, whether we like him or not, his props for putting on almost a complete shutout-type performance. And I am sick of hearing about Pacquiao's so-called injury. If you were really hurt to the point where it affected your performance in the fight and you knew about the injury beforehand, you should have canceled the fight and rescheduled it for September. I don't want to hear anybody call up and defending Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, or Bob Arum for using their excuses, because they were flat-out excuses. They got flat-out schooled in the ring last night, and I hate it because of the fact that, in my opinion, Pacquiao comes across as a sore loser. He didn't want to accept the fact that.
Wait a minute. Why did he say he won this fight? What was up with that?
That's my problem with this whole thing, Ness. I don't know why he said such a thing, because it was clear to me, and I only have one eye that I can see out of, folks, and it was clear to me that he lost convincingly. This was not even close. So I don't know how he could sit there on the post-fight interview. Oh, I won the fight. No, there's no fucking way you won that fight. Okay? You laid a damn egg, and it's as simple as that. And take your medicine and go home. And I mean, Floyd's talking about retiring, but in my opinion, after what I saw last night, Floyd doesn't need to consider retiring. It's Manny that needs to think about leaving, because Manny.
He doesn't. I mean, we had that conversation, and again, I go back to the fight party. It's like, when am I ever gonna be around? Because even at a fight, I go to those all the time. It's nothing like this. It's nothing like the intimate people that call into the show on a regular basis, people that you've established these long distance relationships with, and you're just like sitting around a bunch of knowledge, dude. You know, a bunch of people that are in the business, a bunch of people that are not. I mean, listeners were here. It was crazy, and we had those conversations. And right now, Floyd absolutely does not need to consider retirement. I mean, his next two fights, I will paint them for you. We'll take Amir Khan, and then we'll take Cotto at 160. All Cotto got to do is get past Gill. That Floyd last night, man, give me that. Listen, it doesn't even matter what night, because look at how he figured him out. I told you guys the jab was going to be the key. Why? Because Bradley proved that to us. He showed that to us. That's why I know you guys are like, oh, Ness, you just hate Pacquiao. No, those flaws were always there, and you guys want to deny it. You wanted to put like this false hope and make this guy a Superman when he wasn't. What he had is ridiculous speed, right? But we seen last night that he's not faster than Floyd. Not his feet are not faster, and his little ass hands ain't faster. I mean, it was times when Floyd was stiff arming him, and Pacquiao was swinging, and oh shit, it was hilarious. Oh my God! Anybody that criticizes this, I want you to just walk in a corner, throw some rice, hard raw rice on the corner, throw it on the floor. I hope you got ceramic tiles, and just kneel there. Okay, just kneel there facing the wall, because you do not deserve to be a boxing fan. Because what we seen last night was greatness. Why? Because Pacquiao was the #2 fighter in the world. I mean, this was the best versus the best. And I hate to sound cliche, but he made him look like the rest. I mean, Maidana gave him a tougher fight than that. Maidana.
Yeah, no.
Everybody thought Maidana won at least the first 5 rounds. Everyone. And then you went back and looked at it, and maybe you could give Floyd 2 out of the first 5, maybe, but Maidana still made it more competitive.
No, that's why I said, Ness, that Pacquiao needs to consider retiring, not Mayweather. Mayweather proved last night that he's got a lot left. The only reason why he would walk away is because he chooses to walk away. Manny needs to think about his career, not Floyd.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. Let's take some callers anyway. See what's going on here.
All right.
559, you're up.
Yo, what up, Jay? What's going on?
What's going on?
All work is
easy work. Easy work.
Yo, what's good with these dudes saying that was 7-5, man? That shit wasn't 7-5. 8-4 at best.
Where'd you see 7-5 at?
Read the damn chat, bro. There's half the people saying 7-5.
Oh man, listen, I can't even get in the chat. I'm in Vegas, and it's hot out here. This thing has got my computer on fire, man.
Yo, man. And then I just love the way Max Kellerman just grilled Manny after the fight, bro. That was some Larry Merchant shit right there. I didn't know Max had it in him.
Yo, that was one thing. That, again, I go back to the fact that it was a fight party, dude. Like somebody said that like if it was scripted from like a page out of Letterman's book. I mean, excuse me, Merchant's book. It was beautiful. But both Jim Gray too. He told Floyd, like, come on, Floyd, answer the question. And he answered it. Man, it was just having both of those casts together. It was great. And shout out to Malignaggi. I know a lot of people hate him. They do. But come on, we got to give this guy credit. I mean, he made it to an announcer on the Mayweather-Pacquiao, and the other fighter was Roy Jones. Think about that, man. Malignaggi, and he's always, in my opinion, he's honest, bro. He's honest.
Yeah, no doubt. And the thing, I mean, with Jim Gray, you mentioned Jim Gray, but I kind of expected that. You know, Jim's always been like that, but yeah, Manny was on some drugs, man. And then it was just sour grapes. I mean, I'm not even doubting that he had a shoulder injury. Maybe he did. But don't do that, man. This reminded me, remember when Floyd fought Castillo the first time? And that was a controversial win, but then he's like, I had a torn rotator cuff. It's like, come on, man. You can't be doing that after fights. Give respect and move on. But as for the fight itself, I thought it was a good fight. Obviously not great. It wasn't great because what you call Manny, man, I'm telling you, if you watch that first round again, I think it was like in the first minute. You know, remember when he got countered with that right hand right to start the fight?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing that.
Yo, he paused for a second, had that look like, oh shit. That's when he knew, like, oh man, this wasn't gonna be a regular type of fight, right? And every fighter always says this about Floyd. They're like, man, his punchy power doesn't seem like it's great, but he's like, once you catch those counters, man, that's why no one rushes in on him, except Madonna. Madonna's a crazy motherfucker. I give him props. That's why he made it competitive. He didn't give a shit. He got hit. He was gonna come. But Pacquiao, once that happened, the entire fight changed. Mayweather set the tone early on, and Roy Jones, yo, let's give him props. He said straight up. He's like, and I think Al Bernstein mentioned it too. I was like, if this guy does not throw 60, 70, 80 punches in the first round, he's going to be in trouble. And Roy's like, as long as Floyd doesn't get caught with double-digit shots early on, he's going to control the fight. And the first 3 rounds, Floyd was hardly touched. And you mentioned his chin. You're like, Floyd has a great chin. His chin is good, but his recovery time is sick, man. He's like Marquez and Trinidad a little bit. Like, they could get hurt a little bit. But you see, like, after, like, he composes himself well. He doesn't try to, when he gets hurt, he doesn't panic, right? He'll let Manny come to him. He let Manny, punch himself out a little bit. He covered up well. Then he came back and he took control again. So that's the thing, man. Usually when you got these type of master boxers, they don't have good chins. This guy does, so it's hard to beat him, man.
Oh, whoa. I don't know what that was.
Is Ness still on or what?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And so what you think about Freddie Roach too, his game plan? Or do you think the game plan would just change after Floyd took control after the first round?
I watched the fight like 2.5 times now, and I couldn't hear anything that Freddie Roach was telling Floyd. All I heard was "boo boy," and no one translating. I mean, did you actually hear words?
No.
Well, he kept saying shit like, you got to get him to the ropes, but that could have been your only game plan, man. And Roy's right, yo. These guys came with the stupidest game plans. I mean, mindset. They thought Floyd was scared that Floyd had no legs, right? So they thought, this guy has some short legs.
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off like that, but I just let you burn. And this is probably going to be one of the biggest shows that we have. And yes, look at all these callers. Oh my God. We got to keep it moving, player. But did you pick Pacquiao? Let's see your honesty, because we got to serve up some crow. I know there's a lot of you guys out there. Robbie.
No, there's more Mayweather people on this show than Pacquiao.
No. I think, in my opinion, it was tight. It was pretty tight. Maybe like a 60-40. It was like it felt like that to me. I think we got a lot of but I'm gonna keep it moving. But we got a lot of Pacquiao callers towards the end. So
yeah,
caller, talk to me. I mean, if you don't merit no crow, let me keep it moving.
No, I'll pay for it, baby. Go on.
All right. A lot of people did, man. It's just but a lot of them are gonna come out, I bet you. 623, you're live. What's up?
All right, Dennis. I had Floyd 8-4. You know, everyone is saying that, you know, they're shocked with the way Floyd fought. Listen, that's how Floyd fights all the time. I was very disappointed with Manny Pacquiao. I was expecting them. I mean, I thought Floyd would win, but I was expecting them to come out much harder than that. And there was no game plan. I mean, for 10 weeks, what were they doing? What was Freddie Roach doing? I mean, something as basic as when Floyd's on the ropes, he always throws a left check hook and moves to the left. So Manny, instead of being straight, all you got to do is jump to your left and throw punches. I mean, he didn't even do that. It was just so, like, the game plan wasn't there. Floyd outboxed him. Floyd won that fight. And I'm kind of glad it's over because now we don't got to talk about it anymore. So I'm good that's over. And I agree with Robbie. Watching that fight yesterday, it just felt like watching two guys. I mean, I know Mayweather's still physically good, but it just felt like watching two guys like this is just 5 years too late. It just felt like that. It felt like watching.
No. Don't do that. I'm gonna keep it moving on, you, man. Who you pick? Don't do that because you can't discredit them. It don't matter what you see last night. He the number two. So how is it 5 years too late? But how is it 5 years too late?
No. I'm not discrediting the win. I'm just saying it looks.
Listen. I just want to get this through everybody's head. With what you saw last night, right? Which is a quote unquote 38-year-old Mayweather. What the fuck would have been different 5 years ago?
Nothing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they just look older. I'm not saying they look like 5 years too late in terms of skills. They just look older. And the last thing,
but how you gonna say towards the skill? The skill is what made him look. He made Manny throw like 400 punches. Who does that? Manny throws 700, and Al Bernstein, credit to Al Bernstein. He said the game plan was 800 punches or more. He said it to us in one of our interviews in Vegas that he had to throw over 800 punches in order to be competitive, he said.
Well, the thing is, last thing I'm gonna say next, with fighting Mayweather, with people, while I was surprised with Pacquiao, your blood, sweat, and tears got to be left in the ring, and you know you got to start from the first round to the 12th round. So I agree with you. Once that first round ended, I knew Pacquiao was going to lose automatic. Because if you don't start off blazing with Mayweather, you're going to lose. And the last thing is, what you think about Jamie Foxx, man? That was a horrible national anthem.
Oh man, it's funny you mentioned that because I didn't know what to think. Again, like I'm from the East Coast or whatever, so we're more into urban music. You know, I'm definitely hip hop influenced. Hot 97 is what I grew up on. So, but over here, no, they did not like it. Again, for me, it was different because Rob, again, the gracious host of the years, he set up 2 TVs. This place was insane, right? So it was like an outside spot for the smokers and an inside spot, and the surround was on the inside. So that's why I watched it twice. But I obviously, when I watched it the second time and a half, I didn't freaking watch Jamie Foxx. So I don't know. I mean, again, the general consensus in this fight party was it was bad.
All right, peace, man.
All right, brother. Let's see. Man, I just don't. I mean, that he said, you know, I don't know. I hope don't take that the wrong way, call or anything. But I just don't see how could anyone say that the skills would diminish. I mean, he stood in the pocket too. Like I'm waiting for one of those callers to say he ran to tell me where he ran at and show me. You know, give me like some video of this consistent running or something because I seen him turning Pacquiao. I mean, he even did. I don't even know if that's legal. So I won't say, you know, it looked good, but I don't know if that's legal. You seen that part when he like grabbed him with both his hands, almost like on Pacquiao's head and neck, and then spun around him, Robbie?
Yeah, he did that. He did that several times, and I don't think it's legal. But hey, he got away with it. Bayless didn't call him on it. And after what we saw last night, the results, if they would have fought 5 years ago, would have been exactly the same, if not worse.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was just too small. There was times when Floyd would have clinched, right? And I'm not giving no credit for clinches. We all know I hate that. But I don't think that it was excessive. That's the key word that we always use when speaking about clinching in a fight. I don't think it was excessive. I don't. I think there was a lot of times when Floyd was fighting on the inside. He was hitting Pacquiao to the right, no, left side of the body. You know, he wasn't afraid in this fight. He was looking for that right hand. He was setting up traps. He wanted to go big. That's what I feel. And we got to remember, again, CompuBox, you know, that's why we're behind Throwdown, you know, fantasy boxing, because those numbers, they don't lie in a sense that there's a pattern, and his pattern proves that the amount of punches that he threw last night is the amount of punches he throws for any fight. He made him look like any other opponent. And that being said, remember, Maidana did a better job in my opinion. But this is definitely one of the twins here, so you know.
My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. My name is Money Mayweather.
What's good, Ness?
What up? What up?
Just chilling. First off, let me say, if you didn't like that event last night, fuck off. That was a beautiful thing for boxing and a special night for everyone who calls himself a fan. So yeah, if you didn't like it, fuck off. And two, the fight itself, I mean, like I text you, I think the first right hand that Floyd countered him with in the first round, Manny knew he was in with a real one at that point in time. And like me and Mark watched it, it took about 45 seconds and we knew it was a wrap at that point in time. The excuses, I think, was a little bit bush league by Top Rank and Manny after the fight. I mean, I didn't see him flex that
but it was
shoulder during the
classless.
fight.
It was classless. It was classless not to give him his credit. It was classless to say that you thought you won a fight that everybody, I mean, you had an HBO announcer, a Showtime announcer, you had two different HBO and Showtime scorecards. Everybody seen it the same way. That's disrespectful. And he should have went out like a true champion.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
That's the Manny I remember.
I agree. I mean, he didn't get his just due, and like I didn't hear him. He didn't mention the shoulder or anything after the fight. So I think he got with the spin doctor Bob after the fight, and they told him what to say. You know what I mean? Because the motherfucker was raising his arms up high through all the weigh-ins and everything like that. He didn't really have no shoulder problem. I mean, it might have been a little bit of an issue, but it didn't affect the outcome of the fight. And you know what I'm saying? It's just sad that a lot of times this happens in the Floyd fights, that there's always something where he doesn't get his just due, and you know, a lot of times people don't really recognize and respect the greatness of somebody. It doesn't have to be boxing; it could be anything. Musician, actor, different athlete in a different sport. When they gone, a lot of time it is when they get truly appreciated for the greatness that they displayed. That's all I got, Ness. Get home safely, and I'll holler at you next time.
All right, brother. That's what I'm saying, man. It was a beautiful night, man. It's not about, and I hope that we're done now with the whole Flomo, Pacquiao, these two guys giving us great fights throughout their career. Last night, it was our Super Bowl, man. Let's just remember that it was our Super Bowl. For however much you're frustrated and you want it. Listen, I was saying, people were here, you know, it was a fight party, so I got to act out. You know, when I'm watching the fights, you know, that I'm not covering, that I'm home at, it's just me and my wife, so I'm not screaming at the TV, but I got a bunch of guys that know what they're watching, and I'm screaming like, damn, Pacquiao, you gotta sell out, you gotta do it now. It's the 10th round, it's the 11th round. Fuck, it's the 12th round. What you waiting for? What is you waiting for? Don't blame this on Floyd. Don't blame on Floyd doing exactly what he do every time he does it. There's no difference. He did nothing different last night. Nothing at all. So, if you didn't like this fight, A, you're not a fucking boxing fan, because it's the sweet science. And B, you know, kick rocks. Let's see here. We're going to go to 757.
My name is Money Mayweather.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, Ness? It's Antonio from VA.
Hey, Antonio, what up? Man, you're a Pacquiao fan. I know that much. I know that much.
I ain't no Pacquiao guy, man. It went down. It went down kind of how I saw it, man. Saw it coming. I thought Pacquiao would have to sell out, and he wanted to. But I tell people all the time, when you actually fighting somebody, and you know every time you swing you missing, it kind of gets to the point where you feel like you're wasting your energy. And that's what I thought Pacquiao was like. Like, I'm trying to get him, but I'm wasting energy throwing shots that I'm missing. I might as well wait till I get him close enough to where I can strike. Mayweather just good tactically. But I want to talk about after the fight. ESPN just killed Mayweather. I mean, they murdered that guy. We was talking about it on my Facebook, on this Facebook group I'm in. I mean, they were murdering him. They were saying he killed the fight. He made it boring. He set boxing back. They were saying he top 25 all time. You got to be kidding me. This guy's a joke. That's a joke for him even saying that. They were like, I mean, they murdered him last night.
Who said that, though? Who said that? What's their name?
Teddy Atlas, the guy from Friday Night Fights. Oh, they murdered him last night. You got to go on YouTube and look at the clips, man. They killed him. I mean, they were crucifying Floyd. That jump was embarrassing, man. It was totally embarrassing.
So what I said a few seconds ago, it applies to him. It applies to him. Because what did he do different?
Nothing.
What did he do last night? Did he didn't do in the Maidana fight, and then the fight before that, and the one before that?
Exactly. And like I told my casual friends who were watching the fight, I say, listen, this is money Mayweather. This is the Mayweather that's in the second half of his career. This is not Pretty Boy Floyd. I like Pretty Boy Floyd would have fucked Pacquiao up, probably got him out of there. I say, but he don't throw combinations like he used to. This is money Mayweather. He has found a way to be dominant in the second half of his career when his reflexes are not the same, and he still is dominant. I mean, that was a 10-2, 9-3 fight at best, yet you had a lot of people saying it was 8-4, 7-5, but you know they Pacquiao people because that fight wasn't close. And I'm gonna just say one more thing before I get out because I know this show crazy. Floyd, I feel like Floyd Daddy last night. Floyd Daddy hinted that he was mad at Floyd because he felt like Floyd should have been able to do more. Then Floyd Dad said, you know what, I just think my son should retire because when you're not able to do what you used to do, just get out the sport. You've done everything, and that's how I feel. Like Floyd. You're not getting any better. For some reason, he's still great enough to beat these guys 10-2, which should let people know how great he is. But he's still not as good as he used to be when he could throw combinations. And that's all his dad was saying. He should retire because he's not as good as he used to be. But he is kicking their ass somehow 10-2, 9-3. But I'm going to let y'all go, man. Y'all have a great show. And I was impressed that he held Manny Pacquiao to 400-something punches, and he actually threw more punches than Pacquiao threw. That was crazy. That's defensive greatness. So
I was just impressed with the fact that he made it look like every other fight. I thought with Pacquiao, it was supposed to be special. I thought it was supposed to be amazing. I thought that was supposed to be, Pacquiao, like, with these angles and this power every time.
I learned something. We learned something last night on this. We learned something. If Pacquiao not landing punches, he can't turn angles. Watch Lomachenko fight earlier. Lomachenko land his punches and he turn angles. I was telling my casual friends he watched a lot of Pacquiao tape. You can tell how Lomachenko fight. Pacquiao last night never could turn angles on Floyd because he couldn't land punches coming straight forward. And that's what I learned about Pacquiao. If he can't land them straight forward 2 punches and then turn, if he doesn't land coming straight, he will not turn an angle. And he didn't do it last night. He would throw 2 or 3 straight shots, miss, and he wouldn't turn. And Floyd didn't have to worry about that all night. That's something I learned from Pacquiao.
But all right, Antonio, let me get to some other callers here. I want to look for Tim, who's on the line, because he was out here, and James is also on the line. So let me get to both of them. Man, it was just a great time out here.
But no, he's absolutely right. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas and other people that work for ESPN absolutely destroyed this fight. They made it look horrible. They had the attitude of a casual fan last night after the fight was over.
Yeah, man. James, Bachelor Boy James, what's up?
Yo, what up, brother? Just got home. Literally just dropped off my stuff about 10 minutes ago. But I'm hearing what you guys are talking about. I agree with a lot, man. Like you, man, I thought that it was very life-changing, I guess, in the sense that I had no idea. You guys know I was picking Pacquiao to at least have some sort of contest in this fight. But, I mean, like you said, man, you said it perfectly. He made Manny Pacquiao one of the best fighters in the whole world look like every other opponent that gets in there with Mayweather. And at this point, it's like, where does he go? I mean, it's all downhill from here. But I was super impressed. And I was listening to you guys on the drive down, too, man. I agree with you 100%. The excuses after the fight are just flowing, and it's killing me. It just seems like it's more people hating on Mayweather, just trying not to give him the credit. And we talked about this in previous shows, that if he goes in there and beats the shit out of Manny Pacquiao, people wouldn't give him credit. I thought people would, and it's kind of like it's disheartening to see people doing what they're doing right now.
Well, James, after what I saw last night, I don't think there's anybody in the 147-pound weight class that can even come close to beating Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I mean,
I completely agree.
He just made it look too easy. I wasn't expecting that, believe me. And you know, this is why this fight for me, it's engraved already, not in my mind, in my heart. I was around, like I said, people that I talk to all the time. I already got genuine love for these people, you know what I'm saying? So, like, James is there. I mean, again, Tim is right behind me. Castle Hill Gill was here. Abraham was here. I mean, it was crazy. But Abe didn't come to the party. Abraham actually got tickets last minute to the fight. That dude is insane.
Oh,
but,
speaking of tickets, did the $13,000 man show up?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Jim
yeah. He's still out here.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim Grills. Yeah. He definitely showed up. Yeah, I can't find Tim. What the heck? There's so many people. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know how to do this fairly for all of you to get on. I mean, only thing I can tell you is that I'll do another one tomorrow. I mean, this is just it's a lot of you, okay? So I'm letting you know in a nice monotone, hoarse voice. I don't even see how. I'm gonna give you 4 hours of me, but I don't see it. Not even with that. It's just too many. I still haven't even found fucking Tim. Hey, James, while I look for Tim, go ahead and tell me about the money you won in Throwdown and how.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, man, I'm such a a wimp when it comes to wanting to commit a lot of money. But I threw $1 down on one of the dollar games, and my team did good, man. I got $7 back. It's not a lot, but shit, that's 7 more of those games. And then I saw somebody won like a couple $grand off of that 10 grand game and stuff. So, it was really exciting. Once again, just kind of talk about it. It works exactly like other fantasy sports. It's based on statistics because I knew Carlos Molina was going to come to fight in that Mauricio Hesto fight. So I picked Carlos Molina because his salary was a little less. So I knew that his stats would give me something that I wanted to kind of cover on another end. So that's what it really is. It's not always about picking the winners. It's about kind of balancing off your roster. And some of my teams did good. I think I finished like 58th out of like 200 and something in the Boxing Voice League. But then in others, I did great. So I constantly worked with the positioning. But it's just awesome, man, when you get something like that because, like I said, I don't like to commit a lot of money. And I put a small amount of money, and eventually that will add up. Start bidding bigger. And
well, there was a huge winner.
I enjoy the shit out of it.
There was a huge winner. His name is Yugi. It's Yugggy. And he took away $2,590, and this dude only spent $100. That's pretty good.
Not good. What was that thing yesterday when you were screaming and yelling about that?
I know. Let me say it because I was a fool. Oh my God, guys! Right. So again, I've only been to Vegas twice. This is my second time. Both times, look, I'm staying 7 days both times. But I'm in the betting place with Pete, Peter Clark, one of our writers, and he's telling me how to bet, right? So I see the Gamaliel Rodriguez is like a freaking, I see 1,500, right? So automatically I'm thinking it's 1,500 to 1. So I'm like, Pete, what is this? Whatever. He tells me, he explains it to me in a different way, but I went home thinking I put down money 1,500 to 1, right? So, but I didn't put no big money. It was like, oh, he's such a freaking underdog, right? That this one caller, Huang, thank you, Huang, you owe me $8, okay? Because Huang was the one that always called in about Gamaliel Rodriguez beating me down, sending me YouTube links, making me watch fights, right? So I'm like, fuck it. He's such a big underdog. I throw my $8, little cash I had on. I throw this $8 on him, you know. So I threw the $8, and here we are fight night, and he's getting his ass whooped, right? But I'm like, damn, let me see how much is $8, 15 to 1, you know, 1,500 to 1. So I do the math on the calculator. Well, it says 12,000, and I'm like, I don't say nothing at first, right? I do it again, and I'm like, okay, $8. Okay, he's a 1,500 to 1. Okay, so 8 times 1,500, and it says 12,000 again. So then I say, yo, $8 to 1,500. I say it out loud to everybody now. Now I'm a little confident. I did multiplied it twice. I'm not fucked up. I'm not on any booze. I'm drinking Coca-Cola all night, right? So I'm like, all right, hey, what is 8 times 1,500? And everybody's like 12,000. I'm like, 12,000? Let's go, come in there. I think that's when I lost my voice. I didn't lose my voice for fucking Mayweather-Pacquiao. I think I lost my voice assuming that I bet on a fucking 1,500 to 1, and I was gonna make 12,000 if somehow he would have got lucky and scored a knockout, which I knew he wasn't because I was watching a fight. He was getting that ass beat.
But whatever.
Huang has a lot of crow to eat. I just want to say Huang has a lot of crow to eat that he's obviously not going to eat it today. He already emailed me. Probably this is a fake email trying to duck the show, but I doubt it. I believe in him. That he has some other engagements. He won't be able to come on and officially eat his crow. So he'll be back. But yeah, man. Again, the stats tie into the fight, which was the main event, and it ties into the throwdown fantasy boxing thing because this guy made this $2,500. I needed $2,500, man. I mean, Mayweather earned a 49.8 fantasy points for his win, you know, and he landed 148 punches. And Pacquiao, he just landed 81 punches. 81 punches? Like, who? I mean, obviously, I know that the show has so many callers because everybody says this is like a, and again, we're the words that we don't speak around here, we know what they are, but everyone felt like we were pro Mayweather, okay? But now we have to not be called that ridiculous word. It should be removed from the Ebonics dictionary because obviously those that always picked them were right. He showed it because it wasn't close. And these CompuBox stats show that. You can't win a fight with 81 punches when the other guy's outlanding you by like, man, I mean, come on, 19%. Actually, there was a point in the fight, James, do you remember where, excuse me, my voice is really messed up. There was a point in the fight where they said that Mayweather's average punches landed on him is 19%, and the Pacquiao was doing that 18. He was under that. He couldn't even do what other people did. That means that other guys like Cotto were more competitive. Okay? Other guys like McDonough were more competitive. I mean, this.
Yo, I think the big difference in this fight, and again, like when we talked about this before, I mean, I didn't really want to buy into, I guess, the idea of this because I thought Manny Pacquiao was a lot better. But I mean, from I guess the first 3 rounds, you kind of saw that it was going to be a little bit competitive. But after the third and the fourth, and Mayweather just started kind of taking away, man, that length of Mayweather and the ability to jab was just killing Pacquiao. And you could tell, like, immediately that he didn't want to get in like he usually does. Again, we keep talking, Mayweather doesn't have power. Everyone says that. Yet every person that gets in there with him quickly realizes that they're hesitant and want to go in. Now we're talking about someone that's like Pacquiao, and we know that his only way to win this fight was to attack Mayweather. From the first round, it looked like he was trying to box with this man. So I think just like it, I guess I could say that, I guess for the first time, I saw Manny Pacquiao in there against someone that was taller than him, which isn't new. But at the same time, this is the best of the best to keep that range. And you could see it was evident in that fight that Manny Pacquiao just had no answers for the majority of the stuff that Floyd was doing. He would make adjustments just to up his offensive output. He'd start landing uppercuts, hooks, everything.
Now look, I'm not gonna say this. I'm not gonna say that Pacquiao didn't do anything because I seen the uppercut. He landed one right hand uppercut. It was an odd one too, but it really hit Floyd. And there was a couple of times like, oh shit, he's hurt. But again, this guy's
the third round. That shot in the third round, like you said, I heard you say it too. That shot with the end of the Maidana fight was way worse than he got anything in this fight. But I think Pacquiao. I had it 9-3, man. I only had Pacquiao winning a few of those like middle rounds. I think I had the third. Obviously, was the first one, but I mean, I didn't even find some of these rounds too hard to score. And of course, you know, we had Canadian Jose next to us that had like Pacquiao up 9-0 before the fight started. Yo, I stopped even talking to him about his card because I'm like, I know who you got that round.
Right now. Man, this is a very uncomfortable thing. I just want to remind all you guys that I'm not home in the studio at all, so this is real difficult today. I can't even find Tim yet. I don't know if it's him not doing it right or me. But I'm going to go ahead and get to some of these calls. Just so many of you guys listen, hang with me. We'll do it. I do know that Blog Talk actually told me I could do multiple shows in a day now because I'm on the HD. So if I have to, I'll do another one for you guys. I'll run it overtime since I'm on West Coast time. Maybe I won't. Like tomorrow, you could let me sleep. All right, so let's get to somebody in Chicago.
Yo.
Oh, Fight Doctor, what up?
In the house. What's going on, Ness, Robbie, James?
Hey, what's up?
Listen, I'm thoroughly disappointed. Now, Mayweather wants to run around, call himself the best ever. Okay, cool. Floyd Mayweather, you're a good fighter. You are a damn good fighter. Maybe even great. Saturday night, you had your opportunity to prove it. Instead of doing that, you did the least amount to take a decision.
Fight Doctor, let's just cut to the chase here, okay? What did he do different from any other fight? Please tell me.
No, he did the typical Floyd, okay, and that's fine.
So then how are you upset? How many
I'm
times
upset is this.
How many times? No. How many times in the last 10 years has he done what he just did?
More than I can remember, okay?
Okay,
now,
so
listen.
then come on. Don't waste our time. Don't waste our time.
No, I think
I want you to come up with something more creative if you're going to try and discredit him.
I'm not trying to discredit Floyd. I'm giving him all his credit.
How are you not by saying that he had the opportunity to do this and do that when he did what he was supposed to do? He beat the number 2 fighter in the world, and the guy that all the media for years said he was afraid of, all the media for years said he wouldn't fight. He did it.
Well, I'm not all the media. I never said those things. Now,
Doesn't
when I
matter.
first came on this phone call, I gave him his props.
The public as well. Don't act like you don't know this. The public as well.
Well, those words have never come out of my mouth. You never heard me discredit Floyd.
But here you are trying to say he didn't shine because he did what he always does.
I'm not saying he didn't shine. Listen, I gave the man his props. I said the man is a good fighter. I said he might even be great.
I expected more from you from your call. I mean, as much as you call in, the people expect more from you than that.
Well, look, I'm being honest, okay? I'm trying to tell you what my assessment of the fight was.
You're not being honest because let me tell you, I remember when he did this versus Maidana, right? It was because of the opponent. Who's Maidana? He ain't be nobody. Who's Guerrero? He ain't be nobody.
Well, you ain't heard me say no shit like that, okay?
The public,
you can't put that on me.
The public, the general consensus.
Well, I'm not the public. I'm the fight doctor, okay? You got to draw a distinction between the public and the fight doctor.
If you call in and you're saying that this performance was garbage and that he didn't do enough.
I didn't say this performance was garbage.
Are you saying
that's
he ain't
what
do
you
enough?
said.
You saying he ain't do enough when he do what he always do? Didn't he do what he always do?
Listen, I said what I'm trying to say is the man had an opportunity to prove that he was truly great. He didn't do that. Did he win the fight? Yes. Did he do what he was supposed to do?
No. Listen. I'm gonna change it up because obviously us arguing, we ain't gonna get nowhere, right? You said the man had the opportunity to be great, or what was it? What was it? Say it again.
The man had an opportunity to prove himself great.
Okay,
that's what he could have did last night.
Stop right there. I'm gonna light this cigarette up. I want you to tell me, right, what he could have did, and be very detailed, or we moving on. We going to someone else. I want you to detail on what could he have done different to make this better for you. Go ahead.
No, not better for me.
No. You're the one bringing it up, so we talking to you because you said you ain't the public.
Okay,
right,
well,
doctor,
first of all,
me what
this
he
is a
could have done
$100
to
pay-per-view.
please you. What could he have done to please? Don't fucking talk about that undercard. We talking about him and Pacquiao.
I don't even care about the undercard.
Okay, go.
Nobody spent $100 because of the undercard. Okay, whoever's going to buy the fight regardless, undercard or not. Okay, and the fight was $100. And considering the fact that this man calls himself the best ever, and he's going to ask the public to pay $100, the man should have put on a better show, proved himself great.
But
okay?
Fight Doctor,
But
Fight Doctor, he won the fight convincingly.
No, hold on, Robbie. No.
Hold on.
I thought you were going to ask the right question for Robbie. Fight Doctor, you dancing, okay? The phone line is getting real in right. I could barely hear you because I asked you a question. What could he have done?
I'm about to tell you.
To the point. No.
He could have went out there and beat Pacquiao ass. That's what he could have did.
How?
Okay.
How? What could he have done differently? Okay. What could he have done differently? He didn't land enough right hands for you?
No, he did not. No, he didn't. Okay. The man should have went out there and pressed the action and made an impression on Pacquiao and should have beat his ass. That's what he should have did. Okay. Look, the man won the beauty contest. That's what he won. Okay. Let's be honest.
Okay.
He won the beauty contest with like goddamn
Listen. Your point has no basis because he threw 67 and landed 67 more punches than Pacquiao. So he did go out there and try to beat his ass. Pacquiao got a chin. It ain't everybody was flattening Pacquiao. Marquez did it. And half the world thinks that Marquez was on something, right?
Listen,
Don't
man.
act like I'm
He
not
had a man in front of him. He had a man in front of him last night who got one foot in the grave.
You know, for a guy that comes on here and defends every other black fighter, this is some real BS from you, okay?
What you talking about, man? Listen, I'm a fan of boxing, okay? I call it right down the middle. I don't care what your race is, black, white, green. I don't care.
Yeah, it just so happens that every fighter. So it just so happens that every fighter you back has been black, right?
Well, I'm not backing Mayweather, not this time.
I remember your B-Hop argument, just like I remember your Adonis argument. We all remember is on audio, brother.
Okay, well that's fine. You know what? Okay. Bernard Hopkins, that wasn't a good look his last fight, okay? But he has an excuse because he's 50 years old. What is Floyd's excuse? Floyd ain't got no excuse. The man he had in front of him last night got a foot in the grave. The man is one step above shot. He should have beat the dog shit out of Pacquiao.
Now he's shot. The second best fighter in the world is shot. I'm done. Thank you for calling in. We do appreciate it. You got more than what a lot of people are probably gonna get. 678, you're up.
Yo, it's the man.
Milkman, what up, baby?
Hey man, I told you Floyd's gonna win. See, listen, here's the deal, man. You know, Floyd is a machine, and machines are built to operate efficiently. They don't do more than they have to do what they need to do. Now, the Pac-Man, who I love, just couldn't make Floyd kick into another gear. He didn't have to. So why would Floyd put himself at risk just to go out and prove a point that he's the better dude when he's taking care of the fucking job, doing what he's doing? You know? People want to talk about Floyd ran and Floyd, danced around all night. Floyd's been doing the same thing he's been doing damn near since he started fighting. And my thing is, if you know what he's going to do, it's up to you to make him stop. There's plenty of guys who fight going backwards and quote-unquote run, but they don't win all the time. Case in point with Canelo and Lara, which may be a questionable decision, but you get my point. So we just got to appreciate that shit, man. Styles make fights. It's like watching an old Kung Fu movie. One guy uses the fucking dragon fist, another guy uses the crane. They're just contrasting. You may not like the way all of them look, but you got to respect the style, baby. That's all I'm saying. Respect the style and respect the fight, baby.
That's what. Listen, everybody that texts me, Milkman, I'm going to keep it moving. Listen, everybody that texted me last night, my own blood brother, he didn't enjoy the fight. He's a casual fan. Listen, and I'm gonna tell her how it is. Doesn't matter what I thought. Casual fan didn't like this fight. But again, the casual fan watches every attempt at Floyd Mayweather. You could only be so casual. You really could. I mean, for you to dislike this performance, then you dislike every single one, and that's why you bought the pay-per-view, because you want to see him lose. But guess what? He didn't lose. I think this is the other half of the twins here.
My name is Money Mayweather.
What up, Ness? How are you? Hey, man, just class personified in the ring last night. If people didn't like the fight, I mean, you can't blame it on Floyd. He's the most consistent guy in the sport. He comes the same way every time. The onus is on you, the other fighter, to make him do something that he's not used to doing. If you don't, you will lose and lose badly, and that's what happened. No injuries, no excuses. You must make the onus is on you as the other fighter to make him uncomfortable. It is not impossible. Maidana did it. Castillo did it. Zab did it for a little while. It is not impossible. It can be done. If you don't do it, you shit the bed. No shoulder injury, nothing. That's it. End of story. I don't want to hear anything else. If you didn't like the fight, then blame Manny. The onus is on him to change something.
48 guys have tried, 48 guys have failed. So, live with it, people.
Ness, I told you at the beginning of the fight, it was the same narrative from every caller. Oh, Manny's going to win the first 3 or 4 rounds, and then Floyd will figure him out. No, he came out in the first round and got respect, showed Manny, hey, I was the boss of the negotiations. I'm the boss of this sport. I'm the boss in this ring tonight. You're not in here with Brandon Rios or Chris Algieri. You have no chance. We're shutting this shit down early. Exactly like I told you was happening. The only thing was different from my prediction is I thought that he would have a little bit more punishment. But I think he just went into cruise control. You got to understand, he's almost 40 years old. He's not going to take any punishment. And we got to get used to it in boxing. These guys are not going to.
Why is everybody bringing up his age? Like Pacquiao was cutting the ring off and catching Floyd every round.
No. I'm just saying, like, he's just not going to press it. And it goes to, that's what happened in boxing. These guys are not going to end up like, they're getting paid too much. They're not going to end up like Iran, Barkley, and all these guys anymore.
What you mean he's not going to press it? When he landed the left hook and Pacquiao got off balance, he didn't jump on him and try to land a right hand?
No, I just mean before the fight, I thought there would be just a little bit more punishment. That's all. I'm not saying he needed to do any more. He should have done any more. I thought it was another virtuoso performance. I'm not mad at it at all. If anything, if anyone's mad at the fight, you got to put the onus on the other fighter. Mayweather is the most consistent guy there's ever been in the sport. He shows up the same way every single night. If you don't force him to do something else, you will lose and lose badly. That's it. Shit on Manny, not Floyd. Period. Now, about the best ever, he might not be the best ever, but I think this is the biggest talent gap there's been between the first and second best fighter in any era of boxing. If you think he's not the best ever, fine. But in this era, compared to any other eras, he's so far above the next best fighter. I mean, it's just it's amazing. If he's not the best ever, the gap between him and the next guy is so good. It's so huge, man.
Well, now that Pacquiao's lost,
keep it moving here. Go ahead, Robbie.
Now that Pacquiao's lost, who would be the second best fighter now?
Thurman, Khan. They got to fight for it. Welterweight, all three of them. Kelbrook, got to throw them in the mix. All them guys, you got to throw them. They got to fight each other.
Yep.
They got to fight each other.
I agree.
There's nobody, but we know the obvious choice is going to be Khan because he's the most lucrative choice now. He's the last man standing.
Right.
Pacquiao didn't make it competitive enough for a rematch.
Nope. Not even close.
614, you're up.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, I'd like to congratulate Floyd Mayweather on winning his victory over Manny Pacquiao, since Manny Pacquiao can't be man enough to tell that champion, to tell that man, like a man, that he won the fight and he was the better man. That was some bullshit to me. I lost a lot of respect for Manny Pacquiao and his whole team for the way they took this loss. Take your motherfucking loss like a man, bro. If you got your ass whooped, you got your ass whooped, bro. You know what I mean? That's some old clown ass shit, man. I do not respect that. Don't respect it at all, man. Floyd went out there, handled his business, and for what the fight doctor just called in and said, man, that shit was crazy too, man. Don't get mad because you feel like you didn't get your $100 worth. I understand the pay-per-view might have cost a little more, but shit, Floyd went out there and handled his, man. Can't nobody hate or take that victory away from that man. He went out there, handled his business. He beat that monster that everybody said we had in the 147-pound division. He went out there and beat that killer, that everybody said was going to kill him. You know what I mean? And you still don't want to give him his props for it, man. That's some bullshit, man. Floyd will go down as one of the best that's ever did it, man. He made Manny look like an amateur, man. For real, man. Manny couldn't do nothing to fuck with him, man. I had it what the hell I have? Damn, I don't even got my scorecard, but I think I remember I had it 117-111, man. He wanted to handle his business against that boy. For real. But I'm going to go ahead and get up.
Let me get some other callers here, man, and thanks for calling in. 117-111. I think that's what I had it. So that's a good scorecard. That's what everybody had it. But thank you again for calling in. I think I finally found Tim here. I want to get him on, man. See, hey, Sean, I just seen you too, Sean. I'm gonna try and get to you, because you're a massive hater. I'm gonna love to hear what Boogie Down. So I hope that was him, man. It could be another Bronx caller. Jesus, where is this Tim at?
I had it 118 to 110.
Yeah, isn't that what Farhood had it?
Yep.
Man, the casuals in here when those scores were being shown, they were upset. What's this guy looking at? I'm like, I'm telling you, it was so freaking funny to be at a fight party, especially one this big. I've never been to not one. Oh my God, I lost him again. This is ridiculous. I'm killing you guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do another show tomorrow, bro. Don't even worry about it. Hey man, I'm trying, guys. All right, so I'm gonna just go here. 409, go till I find Tim.
Yo, I didn't have I saw it a good fight, man. I don't think it was a shutout like that. I saw a fucking chess match in there. Like, it was beautiful, man. Good win. Much respect to Mayweather, man. Much respect. I actually had the fight real close in like the 9th round, and then Mayweather did what he had to do in the last 3 rounds to close out. You know what I mean? To guarantee that victory, to make sure that he wouldn't get robbed. So it was a good fight though, man. I'm real interested to see. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes next. Like who can he fight next?
It'll be Amir Khan.
Man, the ratings gonna be real low of that fight, his next fight. But I just want give me my curl though, man. I picked Pacquiao.
Well, all right, brother. Thanks for calling in. I'm going to go back to the top of the line where we were at. 407 is our next caller. Tim, I have found Tim. I mean, this is ridiculous. And 407. No, this dude just hung up, like literally. Oh, brother. All right. 518.
Yo, it's Antonio from Albany. Let me just rant for a minute here, if you don't mind. I was going with Floyd. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bad. Okay, cool. Anyways, I just want to say, man, the difference between Pacquiao's last opponents, minus Chris Algieri, all these fighters just came at Pacquiao thinking they were gonna, impose their will and weight on Pacquiao. Pacquiao, I said this before a few calls back. Pacquiao has always had issues with counterpunchers and boxers and guys that move. That's why he always had issues with the lower weight classes with, the Morales and the Barrez, because those people moved. They waited for Pacquiao to actually throw punches. They knew what the hell Pacquiao was coming in for, and Mayweather was no different. Mayweather fought a smart fight. That's the way you fight a Pacquiao. You don't go in like a Cotto, like a Margarito. You just can't do that with a Pacquiao. Pacquiao has the advantage against those type of fighters. But I'm gonna sit here and give credit to Pacquiao. Pacquiao caught Mayweather some solid shots. I mean, I forgot what round it was. I think it was the third where he caught him with a left hand. I think it was the left hand. And Mayweather just he moved back. It was a solid shot. He took it like a man, and man, for the rest of the fight, he just scored him. At times I thought it was a chess game. Pacquiao at times was trying to do the same thing, counterpunch, but he just couldn't, man. He got those short-ass arms. He just couldn't reach Floyd, and I'm glad the fight happened. It was the number 1 guy in the world against the number 2 guy in the world, and we saw what happened, At this point, I just want Floyd to have his last fight. You know, at the end of the fight, he said he's going to have one more fight. It's going to be 12 rounds. You never know, man. I mean, it might be Amir Khan, it might be a Thurman, but I just don't see those guys being competitive with Floyd. I mean, no one at 147, in my eyes, could give Floyd issues. I mean, come on. Pacquiao was the fucking number 2 guy in the world. The guy that everybody thought was going to beat him. You know, he beat the number 2 guy in the world, and that's it. There's no one else out there that's going to give him issues. You know, and as far as Pacquiao, I mean, he still got it. He can still beat guys at 147. You know what I'm saying? He just can't beat Floyd. I just say, you know, Pacquiao take 2 more fights and then retire. Floyd, after this fight, retire, and let the young guys come up and, you know, let them battle, and that's it. You know, it was a great event. You know, I'm going to sit here and tell you, man, I had like 20-plus people in my house last night. Only 3 of us were going for Floyd, including me. When Pacquiao hit Floyd with some of those solid shots, my house went crazy. And I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck is going on here? You know, but hey, it was a good-ass fight. Floyd won, and that's it, man. It's just so sad seeing all these fans, well, I call them casual fans, you know, just say that Floyd was running when it's part of the game. I mean, if Pacquiao, what's up?
I gotta cut you. Come on, biggest show of the century. I gotta cut you. You got a good time there. But I agree, man. I agree. They can't say anything about running. 832, you're up.
What's going on, Ness? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say this, man. I want to make just 3 points, man. I'm going to go ahead and get off, man. First point is this. I believe the game plan was kind of to box Floyd because I was hearing Freddie Roach says that Manny has faster foot speed, hand speed, he hits faster, and his power, which I believe that we learned that Floyd has the faster foot speed last night and the faster hand speed, not power, and the faster hand speed. I believe that Floyd did not stay in the pocket because he know Manny is very dangerous in the pocket, and sometimes he would stand there, but basically I remember, you know, when he had when Manny did those flurries, Floyd did he covered up. He covered up everything. We didn't know if he was hurt or not, but if he was hurt, his recovery time is crazy. Superman recovery time. I want to tell you this, that I believe that Floyd changes his foot speed each time he fight a different person. You know, every time Floyd fights flat-footed, like he did Maidana in most cases, we say, man, Floyd lost his touch. I mean, he's lost his leg. But then we learn in this fight right here, his legs was like, man, it wasn't like when he was in his 20s, but he did not have the legs of a 38-year-old. He did not. I want to make this argument right here, Ness. People say that Floyd is probably the best in his era, but he's not the best ever. Muhammad Ali holds that rank as the best ever. I want to ask you this question, and everybody. When Muhammad Ali was 38 years old, did he have legs like this? When Muhammad Ali was 38 years old, did he fight like this? Or he was getting touched? And I'm gonna make this last thing. Did you hear, Ness, that I heard on 78 Fight News said that he watched the post fight conference, and Floyd said that he was going to, Monday morning, he was going to put up all his belts, and his last fight was not going to be a championship fight. So I believe if he said that 78 Fight News had said that. So if he did say that, I believe he will fight Amir Khan, because I believe he will fight Amir Khan. He will fight a person that he would pick, his last fight, the person that he would fight. I believe it would be Amir Khan.
All right, brother. And just to clear that up, he definitely said that. He said at the post-fight press conference, Monday morning, he's going to vacate all the titles, which is interesting. Interesting. A lot of theories there. Let's get to here. We got 773.
Yeah, what up? This is Santana.
What up? What up?
What up? What up?
It was a good fight last night. I saw this coming 5 years ago, you know. I said the only way Pacquiao had a chance if he uses feint using his legs to throw Pacquiao's timing off, and he didn't do that. He tried to fight Floyd in a straight line, and Floyd, you know, kept his distance and pot-shotted him all night. And as far as the people that said this fight didn't live up to the hype and it was a boring fight and stuff like that, I mean, Floyd been fighting this way for 7 years. I don't know why they expected him to come out like Mike Tyson or something like that. Like, he been fighting like this for a long time. I mean, in the beginning of this year, he was more aggressive, but lately he been fighting more defensive, just pot shot the whole 12 rounds. So, and then they say he was running. Like, when people say that boxers run, it's more saying that instead not running, but he was boxing. So when they say like, oh, Floyd ran or Lara ran, it's more of he was boxing. So that's why I take it as. And for Pacquiao to say he was injured and stuff like that, if Pacquiao would have won, he wouldn't even broke up an injury, and that's the truth, you know. And as far as Floyd, I think in September, I don't think he can fight Amir Khan, right? Because it's Ramadan, right?
No, Ramadan happens next month.
Right. Okay. Well, you know, I think if he don't fight Amir Khan, it's either going to be Keith Thurman. I hope he don't fight Miguel Cotto, though, because I don't want to see that again. Miguel Cotto, when they fought, he only won.
Well, that's unfair. That's unfair because Miguel Cotto, he landed way more punches than Pacquiao, and you wanted to see Pacquiao. He actually landed, because I know people gonna hate, and I'm not saying you are, but this is for those that try to call in. He landed 105. That's over 20.
Right.
I mean, Pacquiao did worse than Zab Judah. So
yeah, I know, but
don't fight Judah, you better not be mad.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Cotto again, because when Floyd beat Cotto the first time, they said Cotto was washed up. He didn't get no credit for that fight. Floyd is the most unappreciated fighter ever. He never get no credit. Never. So just like this fight, they say he was running and hugging and stuff like that, and he beat Pacquiao 10 out of the 12 rounds, in my opinion. So, and I disagree with you, Robbie. I don't think Pacquiao should retire. You know, he didn't look that bad. I mean, he just was in there with a better fight. He was in there with Floyd Mayweather, you know. So you can't say he needs to retire. Like, he didn't get knocked out and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, no, what I'm saying is since he's bringing up all these excuses, if you have to bring up all these excuses after you get schooled in the ring, then maybe you need to think about whether you want to continue or not.
Right. Okay, well, good show. I'll call in tomorrow if y'all going to be on tomorrow.
All right, brother. 818.
What's up, man? AB.
AB, what up?
So just going to start off with the undercard real quick. Just Lomachenko. I was very impressed with him. I mean, what a talent. This guy improved so much from his previous fight. The fact that he now has an inside game to where he can hold his own on the inside, get away from the clinch, and the ability, I mean, he literally went from right, left, right in half a second. At the same time, you know, not leaving himself open. So going to the, the main fight, I actually had it 7-5, and I'm going to tell you guys how. Pretty much my scoring was consistent with Letterman and the two judges that had it 116, 112. The only difference with my scoring and their scoring is that the last round, I gave it to Manny because I felt that Floyd didn't do anything in that last round. He basically took the round off. And that's how I had that 5-7-5. I mean, yeah, you can say that, CompuBox is more effective for Cotto, but I mean, the punch, I've never seen Mayweather hit as much so cleanly as in this fight. I mean, in the rounds that Manny won, he clearly won them, and Pacquiao had him hurt in 2 of those rounds. And no one's able to do that to Mayweather. Yeah, you can say the Maidana punch at, the last second, but I'm saying in the middle of the round, I've never seen, with the exception of the Mosley fight, And that's basically it.
Well, all right, AB. I'm glad. Robbie, what you think?
Well, I think he's got some good points, but I think Floyd won decisively. That's why I scored it 10-2.
I don't want to engage AB right now because we got so many callers, man.
Oh, we can do it tomorrow, maybe.
AB, what's wrong with you, man?
I said I can tell you the rounds that I had Manny winning.
What? Tell me that scorecard again.
So I had it 7-5. I had Manny winning the third round. I had Manny winning the fourth round.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I should have been prepared myself, right? Let me whip mines out here. This guy, AB, so difficult, man. I don't understand what's wrong with people. Go for it.
So I had my phone out, and I was scoring the round by round, and I tried to make it as non-biased as possible. I had Manny winning the third round. I had Manny winning the fourth round. I had Manny winning the sixth round.
Damn, AB. So far, scorecards are identical.
Okay, and then I had Manny winning the 10th and the 12th.
10th and 12th.
I only gave Manny the 4th and the 6th.
You're crazy.
I
listen.
thought he won the 10th, and I thought Mayweather took the last round completely
I guess
off.
I could give you the 12. I could give you the 12 only because I hate when fighters do what Floyd did and they take that last 10 seconds to put their hand in the air and run around the ring. And we all know that sounds terribly unfair to give away a round because a dude did that for 10 seconds. But AB, I mean, no, that's we have the same rounds except you're lying about the other two.
Well, what other two?
You're in denial. You're in denial. You said the 12th. You said the 12th and the 10th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in denial.
But you agree with what you said on the 12th.
No. I said I would give it away because I dislike. Okay. I dislike when a fighter takes the last 10 seconds. Once he hears that bell and he won't throw his hands up like it's over, it's not over. It's not over till the bell rings.
Right.
Just like
Rocky
said,
if you look at the 10th, 3 judges agreed with me with giving it past the 10th round.
Yeah, did you see them scorecards?
Yeah, I saw it. You can actually see it online.
I know. I have them here, right? I have them here. Did you see them though? Did you agree with those with everybody's scorecard? It looked a little weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, pretty much identical to all the majority of the judges, except for that last round. I had to give it to Manny because I felt Mayweather threw it away, making it 7-5.
Well, all right, AB. All right, AB. You want to see who fight Thurman?
I want to see. I just from a fan's perspective, I think that's the most interesting fight. I want to see him.
Who, Mayweather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only problem I have, and that's why again. I keep it real. That's why I wanted Pacquiao to win. Because see, Floyd talking about vacating titles and all this stuff. Like, why? If you just beat the number 2 fighter and you made it look like that, why not just stick around? Keep making whatever millions they want to give you. We don't care. Whatever millions they want to give you. Go ahead and beat up Keith Thurman. If you could beat up Sean Porter, beat him up. If you could beat up Diego Chavez, beat him up. I mean, why not? Why not? Al Heyman, the rumor is he wants to get rid of the pay-per-view model, right? So what? Are you guys gonna be mad if Mayweather's beating up on Keith Thurman and everybody else if he could, right? Because everyone obviously, again, you don't want to pay for it. Like, oh, I ain't paying for that fight, right? So if it's on free TV, is it a problem? If he and he doesn't want to do that. That's what bothers me. Like, come on, you 48-0 now. You could fight Khan, right? Now you're 49-0. You finished your Showtime contract, and then you go on NBC. And you fight Cotto for that middleweight title, and then you vacate that one too.
And if he wins a 50th fight, he would set the all-time record for the most wins by a champion. 50-0. I mean, that. I mean, I'm surprised he's not looking at that.
I just believe it's like he says, bro. It's easy work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it's easy, and he made it look easy because again, you know, like this is the guy that we thought could do something. We always said his styles make fights, Pacquiao style, them awkward angles, them multiple combinations. This is what we thought. But if this guy couldn't do it, then why don't Floyd just keep fighting? I mean, Bernard Hopkins, how long has he been fighting? He's still looking for a fight.
You got a point.
How old is Bernard?
50.
50. And Floyd, that's 12 years. Floyd still got a long way from not being able to compete in the ring, in my opinion, if he's making guys like the number 2 fighter in the world look like that. Boogie down, Sean, what's going on, brother? Oh, it's not Sean? 646?
Oh, nah. This ain't Boogie down, Sean. It was good, though, Ness.
What up?
Chilling, man. I'm very happy that Floyd pulled off that that victory yesterday. But man, the way that SportsCenter did Floyd, and I'm seeing like a lot of fans on Twitter and Facebook, and the way people discredit this man's victory right now is incredible. I mean, we're witnessing right now a living legend, man. This guy he's one of the greats already. And he's going in and he's proving out fight after fight. I've never seen anyone do that to Pacquiao. He made Pacquiao look like an amateur. Pacquiao has been destroying people, you know. And Floyd just made this guy like, there's just another level in boxing right now, man. And Floyd is that pinnacle. I don't think anybody's messing with this guy right now. Nobody. And nobody's giving him the credit he deserves, man. I can't wait for First Take on Monday to see what Skip Bayless has to say. I think Skip Bayless is like the only guy in America who has Pacquiao winning. Because I just don't see how.
No, wait a minute. He said he won?
Skip Bayless said he had Pacquiao winning 115-113.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, God. This is crazy, man. People are in denial. Oh my God.
Now
but you see what it is? It's the mainstream media, you know. People are coming in here and they're saying these big guys, these big time names, man. There's agenda behind that. That's agenda. That's what that is.
You're absolutely right. And also, I'm seeing, like, you know, I was in an argument today, and people were saying they want Floyd to fight Triple G. I'm like, yo, come on, man. I mean, what else? If he beats Triple G, what's next? Let him move up to 174, fight Kovalev? I mean, shit, what does Floyd have to do to get love, man? This shit is crazy. Niggas hate Floyd for no fucking reason. So, like,
listen, 646, let me get to some other calls, but I will say this, man. We called that. We said it. They were gonna want him to fight Triple G. I hope none of my callers call in with that shit. I hope not. I know you guys ain't. I know you guys are way more intelligent than that. Way more. Rob, what's up, brother? Oh, guess he's not ready. Let me see. We got another Arizona here. 702. What up?
Are you talking to me, Ness?
What's up?
Hello, hey Ness. This is the guy at the Las Vegas.
Oh, I know who you are. I know who you are.
Well, props to Mayweather, man. Congratulations to him. I was wrong. I'm Filipino. You know, I gotta go for my boy. So, you know how it is.
Man,
I know who's the number one. You know, that's all,
really,
man.
That's really mature of you to say, man. I almost feel bad giving you this.
Do you think Manny has a future left?
I think so. I mean, he don't look that bad, man. I think he'll come back, maybe 2 more fights and retire. You know, I mean, I feel sorry for the guy. You know, he basically, I'm a big fan of Pacquiao. You know, but we got like 30 people at the house. But the thing is, you know, Pacquiao got shot down. I mean, my house was quiet. I mean, what can I say? You know, it is what it is.
Yo, that's big. Like I said, that's big of you to say, brother. I'm gonna get to some other calls. This thing is lit up, man. I don't even know how we're gonna do this, but thanks for calling in.
Alrighty.
Man, you know it's funny that you say that you had 20. What he said, 20 or 30? I think he said 30.
Said 30.
Right?
Yeah.
30. The other guy had 20, and I'm telling you, we had like 64 over here. Whatever this fight does, which people are predicting 4 million, man, look at all the money lost. That's a lot of money lost, yo, because of fight parties, and that's big on this side on the West Coast. You know, I mean, like I said, 64 people in here. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people. Just think about those numbers.
When do you think they'll release the final numbers so we know?
Oh man, we don't know. You know, these guys love playing games with those numbers. Especially, you remember what happened the last time. I'm pretty sure this will come out quickly because Top Rank is involved, and also, you know, they're gonna want to say what this did. I mean, we all believe this. Come on, this has to do well, right? But I'm just saying it's something to take into consideration.
You know what? You know what had to do something, Ness, because remember before they started the main event, they had to delay things because all the cable systems were calling in and saying, "Don't start the fight yet. We're still trying to take people's orders."
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. Again, the most gracious host you're ever gonna run into. People wouldn't even know. Saturday morning, Rob had a new cable installed because he didn't like the old one and the download speeds. Remember, I told you guys about that. The internet was all jacked up. So we switched to the new one. He ordered it. Everything was good. Fight night starts, and it doesn't come on, dude. And he never canceled the other one, so he just connected it, and we got it on his other cable. But when Pacquiao got that flurry, it froze on us. And again, I never been to a fight party. This place was like, oh, you know, because everybody was let down. Luckily, it was that flurry that was used as the replay, and we were able to see it because it even recorded in that way with the glitch, man. It was crazy. The cable companies, I mean, he was on hold forever trying to get through because it was a little choppy, and, you know, he wanted to see what was going on. 609, you're up.
Since I can't add anything to the stuff you're talking about, because we agree completely eye on the fight, I do want to go back to the ESPN stuff, specifically Teddy Atlas. It reminds me of that Dennis Green press conference where he was like, the Bears are who we thought they were. Teddy Atlas knew, he had to know, a guy that knows that much about boxing, exactly how this fight was going to go down. And after knowing it, he wasn't prepared with one response to endorse the sport for a guy who's representing the sport, especially in as big of a medium as ESPN. And I think there's an outright responsibility for him to have known what it was going to be, to address it, because you have all these cats that are NBA, you know, NFL, all these people who watch the generic sports coming back to ESPN to figure out how are they supposed to digest this fight. Because they're casual people, they have no idea how to digest it, and they're looking to ESPN experts for some way to help them digest sports. ESPN has taught people how to digest a lot of these sports. And all he did was go over there and had this, like, I guess I'd call it like a ghetto mentality. Like, he was so pissed off that there was all these, you know, have-mores that were at the fights, and Clint Eastwood and all these other people. And he just wanted to be in some dirty, dingy gym where he's the biggest celebrity, and, you know, a bunch of other guys that are broke with little gold boxing gloves around their neck who are coming out to throw a fist because they fought 20 years ago. And he just, like, did not endorse Mayweather, endorse the fact of what true boxing skills are, and actually stand up and help the sport. Now, listen, all that's fine and dandy and smoking the peace pipe. I'm not trying to act like he literally has a responsibility, but ESPN totally dissed Mayweather. They're a horrible organization for doing that as such. They did nothing for the sport of boxing. They jumped on the bandwagon on the biggest event that boxing's had that we could maybe ever see, and then they still it just wasn't for them because they didn't, you know, they'd rather show people crashing in NASCAR than actually show good driving or whatever it is. It just, they didn't understand what they were doing. They didn't know how to digest it. They had no experts really on the case, and Atlas let down boxing.
It's almost like they had an agenda to kill the sport. That's what it looked like to me.
It's just sad. And 609, man, thanks for calling in. And you know, the worst part is they gave ESPN 200 credentials, you know. I mean, you know, I got hopes and dreams and goals, but at what point do you look the other way, or what point do you say something? I mean, 200 credentials. I mean, he's right. Teddy Atlas does have a responsibility. I mean, it's just ridiculous because, you know, no matter what you think of this fight, again, this performance was no different than any other. The only difference in this performance is that it was versus a higher caliber fighter which makes it more impressive. But there was no difference. So, I mean, you know, for him to not explain that, this caller was absolutely right, dude. I mean, with all the coverage for this fight, all the commercial coverage, he's right. People are going to come back and they're going to want to read and find out, should I be mad at Mayweather for doing what he did? And then you're going to have all this bullshit press out there saying that, yeah, that they should be mad when they shouldn't, because he does what he's always done. And Mike, the other caller, was right too. I mean, look, again, a lot of intelligent callers. The earnest is on the opponent to make Floyd uncomfortable, make him do what he's not comfortable with doing, what he doesn't want to do. You know, why does everybody think that the plan is to put him on the ropes? Because that's when we've seen him vulnerable. So it's your job to put him there. Yeah. Rob, what's up, brother?
Listen, man, let's take a moment here for a second and totally just understand and appreciate this. We are now in the Mayweather-Pacquiao post-era. That's crazy. The post-Mayweather-Pacquiao era. It's over. That's it. We know
Rob,
who was the better man.
Rob, I won't even lie to you. When that fight first came on and we got past that Transformer graphic, I got like watery. My eyes got watery, like, holy shit. I didn't never have butterflies. I had people texting me that butterflies was in their stomach. I didn't get that, but I got water. It was like, I didn't ever think that this would happen. I mean, obviously we all hunched, we all wanted, we assumed, we hoped. I'm optimistic, so I always hoped, right? But it actually happened, and it was just intense, man.
I mean, I lost my voice before the fight even started. I was screaming. I couldn't believe what I was about to watch, and I didn't feel bad about sharing those emotions and being overly ridiculous on the way I felt, because we did actually. I mean, I have to take credit. That's the best fight party anyone's ever been to. Period. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. I mean, you said it best. We were surrounded by so many just knowledgeable people. I'm not going to say intelligent. Everyone watching the fight's intelligent, but, you know, just knowledgeable on the sport, and to just know what's going on, to know what to expect, and to, you know, how I didn't mind expressing myself in such a ridiculous way, dude. And so,
Yo,
I mean, to get
to me was that, I said what was beautiful to me was that they were from everywhere. It was people from LA, San Jose, Arizona, freaking obviously Jersey, the Patterson. I mean,
absolutely,
it was just,
man. I mean, we had Mexicans, white people, black people, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. We had Canadians. I don't know what Jose is, but I know he's Canadian. We had Middle East. We had Middle Easterners. We had it all. I mean, this. I can't believe I feel honored.
Where was Jimmy from? Wasn't he from Georgia, maybe? I know. Shout out to Jimmy. He got a Camaro just like me. He got actually two. He got one worked up in the track.
Listen, man. I was, and for those of you guys that were here, you know, that are listening now or on podcasts, I gotta say I feel honored, because we as boxing fans have waited so long for this moment, and we had understood the magnitude and the significance of this and how awesome it was. And you know, I feel honored that you guys chose to spend that important moment of think about just in your life of the last 5 years. Just try to think of a round number figure. How many times you've said the names Mayweather and Pacquiao over the last 5-6 years? It's crazy. These guys have affected your life day in and day out. And it finally was here, and I had the honor of hosting, you know, the screening of this. And I mean, shit, I had a heart attack when that cable wasn't working. I had another freaking, I had a mental collapse when it froze during Pacquiao's flurry. I thought Floyd was going to get knocked out and I was going to miss it. Holy shit. But to get to my analysis of this fight and what it means, I mean, this is the best win possible for Floyd. You know, of course, there's going to be people who may not have necessarily enjoyed it. They wanted a little more competition, a little more drama, you know, all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, this is the two best fighters of the last decade, maybe longer, of their generation. This is for all the marbles. And in this one, it didn't matter how you won. It's that you won. And Floyd, how he won, impressed me far more than if he were to go take it to Pacquiao and knock him out. Because that to me would have had a lot more asterisks and question marks behind it. We would have said, well, maybe Manny got old. Maybe that Marquez knockout really did take something out of him. He's been in a lot of wars. He got old overnight. You could say all those things if Mayweather just really did step on it harder and got him out of there. But no, it went the way of every single Floyd fight that there has ever been since he entered the welterweight division. If he didn't completely blow guys out of the water, it went like this. You start the first round taking it to the guy, surprising him, shocking him that this defensive fighter is coming at you. So he steals the first round, does it again in the second round, steals him. Now Floyd's confident, goes into the third or fourth round and gets caught. This happens in like every Floyd. In one of those, somewhere in the second to fifth round, Floyd's going to get caught by something. And everyone's going to go ape shit because, holy shit, Floyd just got hit. But it's a fight. You get hit. And here's what's going to happen after that. He's going to recover like no one you've ever seen recover. He just brushes it off as though it was nothing and just get right back to work, stay disciplined. Make the adjustment from then on, make his opponent look stupid, and make his opponent not want to throw punches, make his opponent scared to do anything. He makes the adjustment, and the second half of the fight is going to be a whitewash for Floyd. Is that not how every fight you've seen over the last 9 years from Floyd has been? Because that's what I've seen. So this just proves, to me, what I observed, that he did it to one of the best dynamic offensive machines that's the sport of boxing has ever seen. Added to the southpaw stance, the awkwardness, this is the best performance that Floyd Mayweather could have ever delivered. He even had that moment of drama that he had to recover from just to show you that he can. So if you tell me that he's not one of the very best to ever do it, I just don't see it. You can't go and find some guy named Sugar Ray and tell me that if you put him in the ring with him, it's not going to look different than this. I simply, at this point, don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to dig a guy out of his grave to prove that. I don't see him doing anything else. And I'm glad it went the way it did. And where we go from here, to me, is that Floyd Mayweather, for me, has proven all he has had to prove. He's fought every single style, and he's gone. What people need to realize is that he is maxed out in weight. He doesn't have to move up to 154. He moves up to 154 for the challenge and the money. And to get this man to lose at this point, it's going to be one of two things. One, it's going to be an unfair fight. We're going to ask him to fight Gennady Golovkin. That's not a fair fight. The man is too big. We have weight classes for a reason. Should he choose to take that challenge, is on him. But he does not need to, because he is maxed out in weight. You know, he started at a lower weight class, way low. He was a junior lightweight, and he maxed out. He's good. So the other option is just let the guy keep fighting and try to continue his greatness, continue the streak, put it out of reach. You know, because Chavez's unbeaten streak, sure, is longer, but the quality of opposition is less. He maybe had the same amount of scalps that Floyd has at this point after 47 fights. Maybe Julio Sr. had that many on his 87-0 win streak, but you know, he also fought a ton of cab drivers. For every one good fighter he fought 10 bums.
Actually,
So
Rob,
with
he was 97-0 before he finally lost.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. But you know, with that said, so the other option for Floyd is
to just keep going and try to just see how far he could take this thing before he gets beaten. But at that point, you're not beating Floyd because you're better than him. You're beating Floyd because Floyd is old. And I don't want to see that. I don't mind seeing it. I would like to see him chase greatness, sure. But he doesn't have anything left to prove for me. When it's all said and done, as boxing fans, what we do is ask questions. What does he do in this scenario? What does he do in this scenario? At this point, Floyd Mayweather has proven or he has answered every
Hey, Rob, the
single
answer
question.
is actually 89-0.
Oh, I'm so well. Okay, I try to do the best I can here, guys.
Oh, well, thank
Sorry.
you. I got it right. See, I know my boxing.
Hey,
So
well, that's why you're here, Rob.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that at this point, Floyd Mayweather has answered every single question. Destroyed guys who are smaller than him, outsmarted guys who are bigger than him. With that said, I'm out. To me, Floyd Mayweather is in the discussion as one of the very, very best to ever do it. And that's it.
Tim, we finally found you.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Well, first I want to just say it was great meeting everybody.
Take it off speaker.
I don't think it's on speaker. Hold on.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Does it sound okay?
All right. Well, just try and talk a little lower. It's coming in cracky.
Okay. Yeah, it was good meeting everybody at the party. Thanks for having me. So much to say about this. I'm going to just try to say a few things that haven't been said yet. First of all, I got to eat my crow.
Wow, you picked man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to eat my crow. Okay. How's this? Is this better with the mic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, okay, first of all, with the excuses from Manny's side, I think it's lame, but they're probably trying their best to set up a rematch. That's the only thing I can figure. I don't think they deserve it, but...
No, absolutely not.
I think that Manny... I disagree with Robbie about Manny needing to retire. I don't think there's anything wrong with looking bad against Floyd. Happens to everybody. So...
You have a point there.
You know. Let's see, there were some other things. One thing that people aren't pointing out about what Floyd did that I thought was amazing in hindsight as I was thinking about it is his transition, and I'm not talking about counter punches, but his transition from back foot defense, defensive stance backing up to springing forward with these hard, accurate shots every once in a while, off rhythm. I mean, you could see how much that confused Manny right from the beginning. He was stunned. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know when that was coming. And no matter how fast Manny is, Floyd from back foot to coming forward, fastest in the sport. Absolutely unbelievable. Couple other things. I'm just going to run through these because you got a million callers. As for Floyd's performance and everybody complaining about that, what it reminds me of is that friend that you know that you play video games with and he figures out a couple things that work every time and he kicks everybody's ass and it makes everybody pissed off and everybody's bored and everybody complains, but it's like that's what Floyd does. He just figured out a way and he's able to pull it off, and people don't respect how hard it is to pull it off. He knows how to beat everybody. He makes everybody look exactly the same, no matter how he fights, whether he fights off the ropes or this time around he moves around the ring. And the irony is that when he fights off the ropes, everybody says, oh, he lost his legs, he's old, he doesn't have the same legs anymore. And then when he uses his legs, they go, oh, well, he's running. And it's like, well, what can this guy do to impress you? He's got to be in there like Arturo Gatti and just throw shots. I love Gatti. Not Floyd. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Unfortunately, what we've learned after this fight is there's always going to be people that are going to discredit Floyd no matter what he does.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not the biggest Floyd fan in the world, but you have to, as a fan of boxing, you have to recognize greatness when it comes. And I don't think he's the best ever. I think he's the best of this generation. I think he proved it against Manny. I think his legacy is solid.
Tim,
yeah.
I wish this could be the first time that I ripped you a new one, but I don't know the history. But give me your reason so that our listeners that do know their history can try and figure this out. Because why isn't he the best ever?
Okay, well,
no other fighter has beaten every fighter in their generation. He has.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. And it all comes down to what your own personal feelings are about best ever. And I think that in order to be considered the best ever, which, by the way, it's lofty standards, right? I think you have to, at some point in your career, take on a fight that is considered insurmountable odds for you. And you have to overcome that. Whether it was Ali against Foreman.
Well, he did that. He did that. He took on the young lion who weighed 174 pounds.
Okay, you can give him a ton of credit for that. I'm not that impressed with Canelo. So for me,
how could you not be impressed with a guy who, before Floyd fought Trout, then Floyd, then Angulo, then Laura, now Kirkland? I mean, he's a fucking.
Well, okay, just look at it this way: when Floyd went into that fight, was he the favorite or the underdog?
Well, he's always going to be the favorite.
Well,
he's the greatest,
but I know he's so great that he's always going to be the favorite, but you can take on a fight where the odds are against you. Now, here's where, remember we were talking yesterday about people clamoring for Triple G. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think that Floyd needs to take Triple G on to be considered the best of his generation. But if you want to be the best of all time, 100 years, 120, 130 years worth of boxing and fighters, and all of the people that have come before you, you have to take on someone like Triple G and win. Because
no,
that's
come on.
I mean, because you're asking for the loftiest. Go ahead.
There are guys still calling Triple G a bum. There's still guys calling in every single week saying Triple G hasn't fought anyone.
I agree with that. I agree that people say that, but I think Floyd would probably go in as the underdog. No.
I don't
Probably.
know. It really would depend on the weight. If he made, because I believe Triple G has said it enough. If Floyd, he did it to Canelo. Canelo said it in the media. He forced him to stick to that weight. Triple G has said enough that he'll get down to 154. So we just don't know. He could kill.
And look, I don't want to sound like one of those people that say he needs Triple G to secure his legacy. I think his legacy's fine. And anybody that wants to make the argument that he's the best ever, depending on what you require for that, that's fine. I mean, there's an argument that can be made for a ton of fighters, Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali, and some people could even say Sugar Ray Leonard to a certain extent. But
my thing, Tim, is at what point does the O start to mean something? Because for the rest, for his other 47 fights, the 0 didn't mean anything because the way to discredit the 0 was, well, he didn't fight Pacquiao. So that O doesn't mean nothing because he didn't fight Pacquiao. But now he did.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think the O means nothing. And I don't think that if you're not considered
how could it not mean nothing? That means that you beat everybody in your generation. Whereas with Ali, he lost.
Yeah, but what you're saying is
because losing means someone is better than you. There could only be
but what you're saying is that unless he's considered the best ever, the best of all time, then it's nothing. And you know what? Being the second or third or fourth or fifth best ever is still fucking amazing.
What is your because it's unfair. What is your criteria then? Let's just pick hypothetically. Let's say that Ali is your greatest ever, right? Why? How is he better? Explain to me how his losses don't mean anything.
Well, there are certain things that I personally look for in the best ever. And one of the things that I do like in a fighter is I like to see someone overcome insurmountable odds. Now, Floyd Mayweather's been so good that in his weight classes, he hasn't had to do that because he's that fucking good. And you know what? He doesn't have to move up.
What about Corrales? Didn't he move up to fight Corrales?
Well, yeah. Okay, I still didn't consider that insurmountable odds at that time.
Oh my God! So Corrales, the dude that's knocking everybody out, Floyd moves up to fight him, and that's nothing. Canelo, the young
back then,
lion, weighing
back
25
then,
pounds bigger than everyone else, he moves up to fight him. That means nothing. De La Hoya,
well, I want to say that for
the pay-per-view king, the Golden Boy, he moves up to fight him, and that means nothing. This is just ridiculous now. Tim.
Hold on. First of all, I just want to say for Floyd's, I've always been impressed with Floyd. I favored him against Corrales. I favored him against De La Hoya. I favored him in those. I think Floyd's amazing. I think he's the best of this generation. He might be the best of the last two generations.
Why are you selling him short then? You still haven't told me how the greatest of all time is better than Floyd.
I don't think it's selling someone short to say they're not the best of ever the last 150 years. That's not selling someone short.
Well, that's why stats were included. That's why we created stats, to be able to keep records. So if numbers don't count, then what counts? Who's doing this list? How do you become?
Well, it's arbitrary. It's all personal.
What's the algorithm to become the best ever? How does the young kid watching
there is none
on TV decide how he's going to be the best ever?
There is no algorithm. There's no perfect way.
Numbers, listen,
it's personal.
Tim, if not for numbers, we have nothing. We have nothing without numbers. No money.
I think maybe you're putting too much.
No IP addresses, nothing. We have nothing without numbers. Those numbers mean something. Him not losing means something. There was a knock on him not fighting enough Hall of Famers. Well, he just beat a guy that had a lot of Hall of Famers on his record, and it's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
What you're saying is that because I don't think that he's the best ever, I'm saying his numbers mean nothing. To not be the best ever does not mean that it means nothing. It's not all or nothing.
So then how are you the best ever if not for the number? Because
I think that there are intangibles. I think that there are other things.
For losing, why aren't we giving guys credit for not losing?
So when I say that Floyd is the best of his generation in the last 20 years, that's not good enough.
No, it's not.
That's not giving him credit.
Listen, it's not that I want him. It's not that I think he's the best ever either. I'm saying this man is calling himself the best ever, and I'm not seeing a good enough argument to say that he's not. That's what I'm saying. I want someone to tell me why he is not.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, my personal criteria, I've never seen him face insurmountable odds and overcome them, and that's important to me in the best ever discussion.
Okay, but then we have to find another algorithm to judge what these odds are, because again, you don't think that any of those three scenarios that I mentioned fall into your category.
It's true. I thought he was the favorite in those fights. I thought he was the favorite.
So okay, give me your hypothetical odd scenario here that you have in your mind.
Well, I'm just saying that there have been times other fighters.
I want you to give me your scenario to make him the best ever.
I would say this. If he took, and I don't think he needs to, I don't think he should, but if he was to take a fight against a Golovkin at 157 catch weight or something like that, just throw that out there. I would think, well, that is a ballsy fight for him to take. That's fucking crazy. And if he went in there and he made Golovkin look like everybody else, I'd be like, well, there's no question.
Now,
you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy.
Here's the unfair thing about that, right? The key word there, that's crazy. So
it is. But it was crazy when Ali fought Foreman.
Why? Why was it crazy? They were both heavyweights.
Foreman was a fucking killer and he destroyed Joe Frazier in a couple rounds.
No, because Foreman was doing what Golovkin is doing right now. That's it.
Yeah.
He was knocking people out in his division. Okay? That's it. Tyson was doing that. Until someone stands up to you, you're going to be the bully. And Floyd is the bully. That's just it. Listen, how could Ali be better than Mayweather when he had his strategy was to take punches, to outlast the guy? Floyd's strategy is just to be smarter. I just don't get it. How was Frazier better when his strategy was to lunge in? Yeah, his left hook was effective, but he still lunged in. How was Tyson better? Who is better?
Well, I don't think Tyson was better. Just so you know, I don't think Tyson was better.
Why? I just don't understand. Why are these other people better? I'm not seeing it. I need someone to tell me. I don't know anything about history. I don't know anything about history.
Floyd spent a lot of his career taking fights where he was the favorite, and I'm sorry, but that's going to work against you in the greatest of all time scenarios. It just is. If he, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and it's not, doesn't mean that he sucks. It doesn't mean that he's bad.
Ali gets in the mention, okay? He gets mentioned as the greatest of all time, or he's in the mention for one of the greatest of all time, without a doubt, right? We could agree to that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now, why the fuck is that even possible when all he did was fight at heavyweight? He didn't go up any weight classes. He didn't do what
well, I mean, how many pounds heavier was Foreman than Ali?
It doesn't matter.
Well, no, I don't care. You give me a 20-pound weight difference. It's a big fucking deal.
Guess what, Tim? Guess what? By your standards, everyone that fucking fought Klitschko deserves to go to the Hall of Fame then, because they've been outweighed by 40 pounds.
But they're not beating them. They're getting their asses kicked.
You see what I'm saying? So the shoe doesn't fit is basically what you're saying.
If you're going to say that
it's an unfair, you guys are setting an unfair standard for this man. It's not good enough.
I don't think it's unfair to say that he's not the best ever, but he's still one of the best ever. You know, I don't think that's unfair. It's not like I'm saying he sucks.
Everything else
I'm certainly not
simple. Listen, you brought up video games. Everything in life is simple. I've played at one very small point, and I was not good, so don't ask for screen names. I played Call of Duty, right? And in Call of Duty, I bet you there's a best ever. Why? Because his star rating is whatever the hell it is. There is no one as much as that number one guy. That's how things are calculated, bro.
By your standards, Kawasaki he's one of the best ever.
He's one of the best ever.
So you're going to put him top 3, because that 0 means a lot. So top 3 ever?
No. When you start calculating, obviously, again, we're dealing in numbers. So now you got to go through Kawasaki's resume, and you gauge those opponents. You got to gauge those opponents. That's why I think that Keith Thurman has a good resume, because when it's all said and done, those names that he's fought, the Guerreros, the Zavics, those Quintanas, those names mean something. Those names are comparable to Sean Bay Mitchell. You know, who else did Floyd fight? Emmanuel Augustus, DeMarcus Corley. Those are those names. Floyd has those names. Go through Ali's resume. You're gonna tell me he don't got a couple of Augustuses on his resume? Mike Tyson, same thing. So then you gotta see whose resume was better. That's why Pacquiao's where he at. He's been at where he's at in our mind for that long, because he fought those guys. The guys we wanted Floyd to fight first, he fought them, right? Well, some, because Floyd, fought De La Hoya first, but he fought Cotto.
I mean, look, if I say Floyd's one of the top 5 fighters of all time, I don't think it's selling him short. Like, I'm
just saying, the man calls himself TBE. You should tell me why he's not, and you can't. You haven't given me.
I told you why I don't think he is. I mean, you don't agree, but I told you why I don't.
Yeah, because then the other half of your reason is a hypothetical barometer that you're using to say what a person did, what's what adversity.
I'm telling you, there are intangibles, and one of my intangibles is I like to see a guy take a challenge that is insurmountable and overcome it. That's what I like.
But Tim, you're being hypocritical. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for the. I mean, it's good enough for the goose, but not for the gander, because you said a couple of minutes ago that that Foreman outweighed Ali. So did Saul Canelo Alvarez. What's the difference?
Yeah, but if you're going to compare what Canelo Alvarez was going into the Mayweather fight with what Foreman was going into that fight, it's completely different. It's a completely different scenario.
Actually, listen, I'm going to get killed for this, because obviously Canelo is no Golovkin or knocking out his opponents like Golovkin. But, yeah, why not? I mean, George Foreman was young coming up. He was the hot kid, and this is the hot kid. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is that George Foreman.
Why did the pay-per-view do $2.2 million if he was a bum? He's not no bum. That's why I did $2.2 million, because it ain't do $2 million.
Well, I mean, that's a popularity contest. I'm not going to get into a popularity. I don't care about a popularity contest.
No, it's not popularity. It's how many people think would win the fight. That's what those pay-per-view numbers mean.
And before everybody gets upset, I don't think Canelo's a bad fighter either, but he's not what Ali was going in that fight. And he wasn't the favorite, and everybody didn't think, oh, Mayweather's taking this fight? He's crazy. Like, you know, like that. Nobody thought that. They thought, well, you know, it's a good, decent fight.
But look at that.
Who knows?
My neighborhood Floyd statistic guy says when Ali fought Foreman was 220 pounds. Ali was 216, 4-pound difference. Same exact height,
Really?
but 4-pound difference.
Yep, that's right.
So
it was.
Okay. All right.
There you go. Trying to give out.
Hey, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I was wrong about picking Manny too, so that's fine.
You sure was. Let me get to some other callers, Tim, but I do want to say, man, thank you for making the trip up here. And, you know, obviously, Tim has been a tremendous help with the site. His writing is amazing. I always bring it up on the show. And it's good to serve you up some crow, man, because that article got a lot of attention.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me both on the show and out for the fight. It was a good time. It's all good. I'm looking forward to more.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Let's see what we got here. 313. 313. 313. You've been waiting a long time. All right. Actually, let me see. Okay. $469.
KG from Dallas, man. How y'all doing?
What's up, KJ?
Not much, man. Brilliant performance by Mayweather last night. It's really sad how, he's not going to get the credit he truly deserves. I remember I called in a while back and I mentioned how the size difference, I feel like the size difference really bothered Manny.
Could you speak up, brother?
I said, you hear me better now?
Nah, you're low. You're far.
Talk closer to your phone if you can.
How about now?
There.
All right. Yeah, I was saying the size difference I feel like really affected Manny because he had mentioned how he had been in there with bigger guys, but he had never been in there with a bigger guy that had boxing ability like Floyd. So that really, really bothered him. And we had never seen Mayweather in there with a smaller, that he was the bigger man. Like, we had never seen that because he was always fighting these guys that came in the ring 25 pounds heavier than him. And then everybody started saying, oh, well, the only reason he's beating these guys is because they're slow and flat-footed. And then the way that he fought Manny, it was just like he just kept him on the outside all night. Like, Manny really had to get in super close in order just to hit Floyd because of the 5-inch reach advantage. But I thought Floyd fought a masterful fight. And to go to that point to where you were talking about the guy with Mayweather's stance in history as the best ever, I feel like Mayweather is just a guy that he has learned how to perfect this sport. Like, it's not exciting all the time. It's not, the people might always want, but he's mastered how to win rounds and win fights. And it's a reason why 48 guys have gotten in the ring with him, and they've all been pretty much, their style has been taken away, and he dictates the style, and he frustrates everyone.
All right, caller, let me ask you something. I gotta keep it moving. So, is he the best ever in your opinion?
In my eyes, he is, because everyone else that he's been in there with, he's dictated everything. So I don't see why it would be any different with anyone else. That's just
all
my
right,
opinion.
brother. Let me get to some other people. 706. Is he the best ever?
What's going on, man? I'm not even gonna say if he's the best ever because I haven't seen everybody, so I'll just leave that to you. But I have a couple of good points I want to make. Clear some shit up. Remember how he said he's gonna relinquish the belts and shit?
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah.
So the question right after that, another reporter asked him. So he said, Floyd, just to be clear, he's like, Floyd, so you're gonna relinquish them Monday? He's like, I don't know, man. Just to be clear, maybe 2 weeks later. So I think Floyd sometimes says some shit like that. Out of he's like an impulsive guy. I really doubt he's gonna relinquish them, but it's probably one of those things he just said. Another thing, I was gonna say he deserves an easy fight, man. Why not? Manny's been fighting guys like fucking Algieri, Rios, fucking people like Catchways. I think Floyd should go out fighting some fucking guy like Danny Garcia or Broner and finish out easy. Why not? He deserves that shit. He's been fighting hard fucking fights. Fucking Canelo outweighed him by 20. Maidana outweighed him by 18, like 19 pounds twice. That's 3 fucking fights in a row. A guy outweighing you around 20 pounds. And this last guy was fucking talking about Floyd. Ali used to fight guys that used to outweigh him by 20. No, Floyd used to do that just recently. 3 fucking fights in a row. And he didn't even mention that shit. What the fuck? Nobody mentioned.
He was wrong about the Ali weight anyway, so he took it back.
Or Floyd could keep all the belts and again give Cal Brook the fight and collect the
why
fourth.
not?
Yeah,
I know, right? That'd be an easy fight for him. I think because Cal Brook is fucking. I think he doesn't go to the body, and I don't think he has the footwork of Floyd. And I don't think they're gonna let him hold Floyd like he did Sean Porter. I don't think
Cal Brook has a good straight right, man.
He does, but Floyd's reflexes are another level, like we saw yesterday. That's fucking all right. Then
that dude got spidey senses.
I got a couple more good points. Hold on here. Max Kellerman, right? So he was when the Manny was doing the interview, he didn't say anything about that shoulder. I think after they went backstage, Top Rank and all of them, they put a fucking story out with the AP right away from the backstage. They were like, "Oh, his shoulder's fucked up." That's their publicist. He put that shit out right away, right? And they told him to do that to save his pay-per-view numbers or whatever. It was just a business move, I think. And they were. Did you see them live on the Sports Center? They were having a discussion before they went on the mic what to say. Him, Roach, Const, and Manny, all of them were huddled up. So they were trying to decide what to say on the mic. Did you guys see that?
Dude, man, we know it's fabricated bullshit. They're trying to save his image.
I don't know if you follow politics, Robbie or Ness. Like, I've been following with Obama and shit, like how much fucking hate he got, like, first time he won. He beat McCain and shit. So I remember Fox News making all these excuses. Oh, Obama just won because the black people came out to vote for him. That kind of reminds me of Floyd's career, how it goes. Every time he wins, they're like, oh, he won because of this. And then Obama beat Romney. They were like, oh, Obama just won because he was talking shit about Romney. And he got no fucking credit for beating all these guys in these elections. And the same thing this reminds me of, like, the PC media, ESPN, Fox News, it's like exact same to me. ESPN and Fox is like total fucking propaganda.
His agenda.
Yeah, it's so fucking.
Floyd is not. He doesn't follow orders, dude. And when they can't control you, you're dangerous. So if you're dangerous, they have to paint an image of you. You have to be a woman beater. You couldn't have just did it by accident. You can't feel remorse for what you did. Sometimes shit happens. That you have to be the guy that is the bad guy.
I'm waiting for an article on. I'm waiting for an article about Max Kellerman and Jim Lampley's domestic violence issues. At least just one article, one article from ESPN or somebody, because they work with them. They both had domestic violence issues, haven't they?
But it's not just domestic violence, though. It's just not just domestic violence. Remember the burning of the money situation. There's always something that needs to be blown out of proportion because we can't control that guy. So the only way to justify the crazy shit he says is to say that he's crazy.
But nothing has stuck on Floyd like that woman beating shit. And Jim Lampley Jim Lampley has been fucking forefront of that, and he's accused of beating up his
time. Come on, at the same time, let's be fair. Floyd is a fucking fighter. Would you rather Jim Lampley smack your sister or Floyd smack your sister?
But we don't. All right, I was gonna say the caller was saying. All right, I was gonna name some people Floyd moved up to fight. Floyd moved up to fight Hernandez. Floyd moved up to fight Corley. Floyd moved up to fight Corrales. Floyd moved up to fucking beat Cotto. Floyd moved up to beat Canelo. That's like 5 fucking names that just came off the top of my head. And I was saying, how nobody can really say he's the best ever. It's because hours and hours of fucking propaganda telling them who's greatest. Like Frazier, Ali, they've heard hours and hours of TV saying they're the greatest. So that shit gets in your mind. It's like ingrained in your mind, So it's going to take a generation to probably even change. That's probably what it's going to be. That's what I feel.
Well, all right, brother. Let me get to some other callers here, man.
Thanks. All right.
And I don't know, man. It's sad that this is the world that we live in. 404.
Going to bed?
404. 404. Man, that sucks. 718. 718. 718.
Hey, Ness, what's up, man?
What up?
Yo, this is Six, man. What's good?
What's good, Six? Talk to me.
Yo, I just got a couple of things to say. First, for the caller, not the last caller, the caller before that last caller, he needs to shut his fucking mouth and speak facts. And on to the next. Yo.
Well, but come on, Six. What? Listen, you gotta look. None of us are a computer. Like, we can't always remember the exact things. But at least he fessed up to it.
All right, yo, what's up, Jim? Jim Lampley, he always bashes Floyd, yes, but last night, even Jim Lampley said you can't, even the most diehard Pacquiao fans can't deny that Pacquiao got his ass whooped last night. But why? This is what I really want to ask you though, and I don't like Jim Lampley. Yeah, what happened? Why is Mayweather relation? They say why Mayweather giving up them belts because he don't want to pay that sanctioning fee. It's a sanctioning fee. I mean, think about it. Who want to pay? I hear it's a lot of money. I don't know exactly. I didn't get a chance to look because I'm driving. But how much is the sanctioning fee on all those belts? He has every belt. He have every belt except the IBF. Because Cal Brooks got that. So why would he want to
that much, man?
Yeah, but why? It may not be not that much. But why would he want to pay that? He want to pocket all his money.
He probably scaring them up, saying that so they don't charge him the fee.
You know what I'm saying? And let me ask you something. Cotto is the lineal WBC champion, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. So what's the difference? Then this is the question, and I really don't understand it. They got all these different belts. You got the Super World, the World, and I mean, what is the difference? I don't even know any of the difference between any of these damn belts anymore. They need to just do what they used to do, old school. One belt for each division.
I agree with you.
That would be a perfect world, Six. You know that.
But I don't think it'll ever happen again.
Let's see, man. Let me get to some other callers here, Six. Trying to get some of these. We on 44 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully we could get another one tomorrow here and call it part 2. 904, you're live.
What's going on, Ness? This is Zorro out of Jacksonville, man. Hey, that boy bad. We watching the fight. This is like the 5th time I've watched the fight. Floyd is bad, man. TBE. Nobody can say he's not TBE.
Why not? Why can't they?
Because they can't say he's not TBE because he dictated the whole path. He dictated the path. He's beating everybody. He doesn't have that big four-man situation as far as like with Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler and Hearns and all of those guys fought. He's fought the big names. He's moved up in weight to fight the big names.
But wait a minute. Can't we argue Mosley, Cotto, Pacquiao, Mayweather is the 4?
And then he beat him.
How far? No, I'm not a historian. Do you know enough about the history for me to ask you?
I watched boxing and I started getting into going backwards, but it still seems all the same to me because when you talk about Ali, they only talk about maybe 2 or 3 different guys that he's fought. They don't say it's because I don't know Ali's full record.
Look,
they only talk about.
Let me cover this because we shouldn't even compare Floyd to heavyweights. But you talk about Floyd, Cotto, Matty, and Mosley, and then you talk about Leonard, Duran, Hearns, and Hagler. I mean, you put those 8 guys together during the 2 periods.
Actually, we could swap. Which one is the weakest link out of those 3? Out of Cotto, Pacquiao, and Mosley. Is Mosley the weakest link?
Mosley would be the weakest.
So we'll put De La Hoya in there because De La Hoya was has he done more in your opinion? I think he's done more in his career.
Yeah, he's been big for boxing.
So that's been big for boxing. What's the difference? I don't get it. You know what it is? People just want to discredit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say that he lost the fight, or I mean, like anybody. They're saying he lost the fight. I don't see it. It seemed like he eased up on Manny at that. It seemed like he eased up on him.
Look, Floyd clearly won that fight. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, man. But Cole, I'm gonna get to some other callers here. 651, you're up.
Yo, what up? This is BJ calling from Minnesota.
What's going on, BJ?
Oh, not a thing, man. I don't see what the issue is and where all the hate is coming from. But Floyd clearly won. He had a game plan. He followed it to the T. Ain't nobody's fault that Pacquiao could not frustrate him. He couldn't get inside. He couldn't throw his right hook. And now he wants to blame it on a shoulder injury, which was already pre-talked about, which was already talked about and was already pre-motivated once the fight was over. And once he did the interview with Max Kellerman, it was, oh, he was moving around too much. No shit. That's what Floyd Mayweather does. So I don't get it. It's like, okay.
And you know what? You got to give credit to Max because he said, but you knew that going into the fight.
Exactly.
Everyone that fight Floyd knows how Floyd fights. So for these dumbass casual fans and his rinky-dink commercial media, to a lot of people is just ridiculous.
Exactly. And I know that another caller had talked about Teddy Atlas.
In any other subject, like if I sat here, everybody knows that my geography is horrible. If I sat here and try to argue about what countries are, people would call me an idiot. So what's the difference here? What's the difference? Why are we taking that out of context here? Right?
And another thing is, I'll say why it was taken out of context. It was because it was the highest paid event. It was the highest pursed event. It was the most spectated event. So everybody made something out of it that wasn't supposed to happen. That's all it is. Everybody's money was vested, so they expected a whole different result. And because it was Pacquiao, he was supposed to do something different than everyone else. But he didn't. And he did not come to the table and give us a good event. That's no one's fault but his own.
Well, he tried. He tried. Floyd is just better.
He's that good.
That's why Robert.
He's that good.
If he would have won by knockout, people would have been like, "Oh, Marquez loosened his chin up. He ain't been the same. He been knocked out 3 times before. Yada yada yada."
Exactly my point. Then they would have put more excuses on top of it. Oh, because of what happened with Marquez, he still is facing the damage from that. So he needs a rematch to show that he's over it now. Well, he should have been over it to begin with. Wasn't that the point of him fighting Algieri and rematching Tim Bradley and even going and fighting Rio? So I thought he was over it. But no, when he gets knocked out, oh, he's still suffering the damage of the knockout from Marquez. No, he's just not as good as everyone thought of him to be. He just didn't do the job.
He's good. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's good.
Of course.
He's still the number 2 fighter in the world. We would still all buy Manny Pacquiao pay-per-views versus anybody in the division at 147.
Exactly.
Let me get to some other callers here, brother. We've got a lot of people here. 11111, you're on. Block caller, Skype caller, what's up?
Yesterday.
Keeping it moving. No time for that. He gonna be mad when he hear it on the playback. 318. 318. Okay. 647.
Yo, what up, Ness? It's T from Toronto, man.
T, what up?
What's going on? Too many excuses from the Pacquiao side, man. It's a little discouraging when you see a superior athlete resort to making excuses for taking a loss. I think people would have respected it much more if he took it in stride. But if Manny Pacquiao's got anybody to blame for the result of the fight, it should be himself, because he threw 429 punches for the whole fight. I remember him fighting Margarito and throwing 1,000. Like all this volume stuff that we was talking about the whole time that supposedly was supposed to give Floyd issues, he kept in his pocket. He actually threw 6 less punches than Floyd for the whole fight. And Floyd moved less than Algieri did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think Floyd's defense prevented a lot of that.
I understand that, but that doesn't stop effort, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I picked Floyd to win going away regardless, and Floyd moved against Maidana, but it didn't stop him from trying. Maidana threw the whole kitchen sink. He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna throw some knees, some elbows, and some headbutts in here. Hopefully, I catch him with something." At least he tried. Pacquiao quit after Floyd. He called Floyd with a good shot and let off that combination, and Floyd shook his head and said, "Come on, throw some more." And he threw some more, and Floyd shrugged it off and said, "Come on, throw some more." Pacquiao quit. He quit.
Floyd was even talking to him in his ear. I wish I could know what he said to him.
It's probably that Ali Foreman shit. That's all you got. Is that all you got? And he quit, man. He couldn't. It's different when you used to being the fastest guy in the ring and somebody's faster than you, and then you hit a guy with your best shot and he shrug it off, and he's still coming back. Now what? You know what I mean? But I mean, I hope everybody got their money's worth. I collected a little bit of side bet money for these foolish fans that don't know too much about boxing. I gladly accepted a bunch of little side money, so that covered my pay-per-view buys, and that'll cover my gas and my groceries for the week. I appreciate it. Thank you, Gringo. I did not forget you. He tried to say he had 4 figures on the fight. Donate $100 to the Boxing Voice, and I won't even bother you, fam.
All right, brother. Oh man, I won some too. King J, man, he got to call up and get his crow because I got him a couple of bucks. 323, you're up. 323. 206. 206.
What you telling me? I was trying to get you off.
All right. Anyway, real quick, I want to shout out my boy Oscar. He was out here. He's a longtime listener to the show, man, and I got to meet him and his wife, and man, he was repping the shirt and everything, man. So shout out to Oscar, of course, man. He's probably right now cooking because his wife was telling me that he be cooking and listening to the show, so she even listens, man. 904, you're up.
Yo, you just got me, man.
Okay. 651, you're up.
I think you already got to me.
All right. 443, you're up.
Hey, how y'all living? This is Justice, and I just want to give a shout out to the panel. Great show today. Hello.
Yes,
yeah, we're here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get this off the speaker real quick. Yeah, great show today, man. I didn't catch the early of it, but I already know it's Mayweather post fight. I don't know what you might probably have some bad seeds earlier. I give Floyd his props on it, and I come to collect because I actually said that Floyd would win by unanimous. I know a lot of callers called in and said it, but I also said that Pacquiao would try to outbox Floyd in the earlier rounds, you know, and y'all probably didn't believe me, but I told you so, so I come to collect on that. And I appreciated the event because Floyd Mayweather, his fights is more about the event than it is the actual performance. His performance was a grade A to me, so I'm not knocking it or anything. He did what he was supposed to do, and I really don't know where Pacquiao goes from here because I think maybe 140, Danny Garcia may be the best opponent for him, but anybody else in the 147 division probably now will wash him up. That's all I really have. So many people said so much. I agree with a lot of the callers and in the panel too. So peace. Keep up the good work.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming back, for calling in here. Let me see who I got. 440, no, 404.
Well, can you answer me?
Oh, they arguing boxing.
It's a very
She said
simple
Judah
question.
look, they talking about Judah and Amir Khan.
Understanding is that we're not going to be sleeping in your car, which is indicative of the fact that you are moving out. Like you are done with this relationship.
Oh. No. Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. No one heard that. 312. Oh shit. 312, you're up. Three 1-2. Four 478.
Hey, yo, Ness, what's up with you easy out around fools, man?
Hey, man, he pressed one, brother.
But, yo, yeah, long time listener, first time caller, man.
All right, brother. Well, let me,
You're listening to the Boxing Voice.
That's the wrong one.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut, he is...
Cut West.
What's up?
Hey, yeah, pretty much what I wanted to talk about, pretty much everybody already covered, but I basically want to talk about your scorecard. Did you post it up already or say? Because I came in like a little bit late.
117, 110.
Yeah, but like, what rounds did you give like Pacquiao? You know?
3, 4, 6. That's it.
That would be 117, 111.
117, 111.
Okay, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I gave Pacquiao fucking rounds 3, 4, and 9. So.
Yeah. I only gave him 4 and 6.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I thought it was like.
You see, this is why it's hilarious that this fight is accordingly a letdown when everyone has the same rounds winning for Pacquiao. It's just whatever. Let me get to some other callers, man. We're running down. We have very little time here. 508, you're up.
Yeah, this is Georgie Porginez, man. Listen, first of all, Mayweather did it. He's the man. People got to stop that hate. Makes no sense. And how could you judge a man being the best ever? Rocky Marciano got the record there still. As long as you don't beat that record, you cannot even talk about that, man. Why, we're just going to, like, put that nigga to the side, don't count? Yo.
I think what happens here, Georgie, is it's different generations, and it was who you were alive to see.
Don't matter. We're talking about, I know different generation, but you're talking about the best ever. Rocky Marciano for the best on his time.
That's
Therefore,
true.
he holds the title. That's it. I mean, if numbers matter, like Ness says, how could you argue that?
But Floyd has no intentions on beating it. He's going to tie the record, but he has no intentions on beating it. He's even said so himself.
Okay, so he will be named like the best in our era. You know what I'm saying? But the best ever, like they want to put him, nah, not really. We cannot say that. Why? Because they saw the dude who made, he made his record before him. So we got to count that. It was a great fight. I just don't want to waste your time. And that's about the whole white beating, woman beating situation. That's fair game because Mayweather said the same shit about Chico Corrales back in the days. So when he opened his mouth by saying that shit, he opened the door for everybody to talk about his situation. So you got to be fair. So that's fair game there. Great show, guys. So keep it up.
All right, brother. 917, you're up.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's up? It's Ken. Can't start when I'm in the chat. Great show. Thanks for doing it as you always do. I think, I was rooting for Pacquiao, so I'll eat my crow. I'll start with that. And so I guess you don't have time for the soundbite. That's cool. But, a lot of people are taking the credit away from...
No, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, for sure. Look, you can't take credit for Mayweather. He dominated. He won the fight. He made it look easy. And I think that's really what's heartbreaking for people like me who are rooting for Pacquiao and excited about this fight because really Pacquiao looked ordinary. Every round was a close round. I mean, that's something I think that people aren't really saying. I mean, even when Floyd won the round clearly, I mean, these were close rounds. And Pacquiao just didn't let his hands go enough to steal the rounds. I thought that he should have came with a strategy. Last 30 seconds of every round, just active. And I probably would have won more rounds and maybe even taken the fight that way. But in terms of just the scale of the event, what people were hoping for. I mean, it's just such a terrible taste in people's mouth. You know, diehard fan or casual fan. I mean, it's just really hard to wake up today and feel good at all about what we just witnessed. And I think that's what people are confusing with this TBE thing. I mean, like, you know, there's the entertainment value is what's absent for a lot of people, you know, and that's really I think the primary issue. But if you try to bump Mayweather out of where he really belongs in history and boxing, all you're doing is taking away, you know, from Manny. I mean, if you were to put the same question to people and say, where does Manny rank? The same people who are saying, fuck no, Mayweather's not, you know, an all-time great, would be saying, yeah, Manny is. So you just can't have it both ways. It's one way or the other. So, you know, right here and now, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, is Floyd a great? Yeah, for sure. TBE, probably not, but he's definitely going to be ranked really highly on any list.
Why is he not TBE? Why not?
Well, I mean, for me, the real reason I go that way is because, you know, like the other caller said, is, you know, how often has Floyd ever really been, you know, how do you say, an underdog in any fight? I don't think ever. And B, it's, for me, goes to a generational thing. I'm young, but when I look at these all-time great lists, I'm just blown away by just the pure number of fights that people had. You know, these 100, 200-plus fights, 15-round fighters. I mean, you know,
versus
how can anyone from this generation
hold on, because you fought 100 bums, that makes it better?
I'm not saying it makes it better. I'm just saying, you know, when, you know, how can you stack up a 50-fight career against a 200-fight career? And like that, like Sugar Ray Robinson, I think he had like 12 losses and 100, you know, plus fights, you know, 150 fights. I mean, you know, that's what I'm going off of. Look, you can argue it either way. I understand what you mean. I'm just saying, like, how can I take away from somebody who's fought that much and even fought, you know, another all-time great 4 or 5 times? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's the real difference here. That would be like the only equivalent to that in this generation is Manny fighting Marquez 4 times. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's fought another all-time great 4 times. He fought 3 other all-time greats. You know, the 3 Mexicans. You know, the 3 greats: Pereira, you know, Morales, you know, and things like that. You know, so, you know, I don't think Floyd has that in this generation. I think what he has is pure statistical dominance. It'd be like a guy who just hits with a 300-plus average all the time, but he's not Babe Ruth. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You know, I could be wrong. You know, I'm just arguing from my perspective. You know, that's
my thing is numbers don't lie. At what point does his 0 count? At what point does it count? Who does he have to beat for the 0 to count?
Yo, I give him his credit. I mean, the guy's undefeated, and looking at his record, he fought quality fighters from his generation. I mean, you really can't ask the guy to do much more than that. Can I just finalize on one note? Because I know you got a lot of other people waiting. This is how smart and good this guy is. You did not see a shoulder roll last night. One of the basic tools that Mayweather uses to beat up half the guys that he fights, he just left that in the fucking tool shed. Why? Because he knew who he was fighting. I bet you money Freddie was praying to God that he was going to be shoulder rolling all night, and that's where they were going to find their left hand. They took that away from him from the second the bell rang. You know what I mean? Manny didn't even train for the Floyd that was in the ring last night. That's how good Floyd Mayweather is. Period. I'll leave it right there.
So you need to be saying he's the best ever. But I got a special treat for you guys because on a fight that obviously people have different ways and punch stats being as important as they are. I got Nick back on here. I just got to find him where he was. He moved on him. Maybe Nick, if you hear me, could you press 1, please? And I don't see him. Okay, look, he got disconnected. No, he's back on because, you know, these punch stats mean a lot. Again, I can bring up opponents here of Mayweather and tell you just how many punches landed. Juan Manuel Marquez, 2009, 69 punches. Carlos Baldomir, 79 punches. Landed on Floyd, okay? Manny Pacquiao, 81 punches. Victoriano Sosa, 79 punches. Zab Judah, 89 punches. 92 punches for Shane Mosley. Miguel, 105. Robert Guerrero, 113. Alvarez, okay, who Tim didn't think was a big deal. Floyd going into that fight with such a weight advantage, landed 117 punches. Oscar De La Hoya, as great as he was, 122 punches. But we got Nick, the vice president, of course, of CompuBox. My co-host is Vic. Nick, what a night. And I'm pretty sure that your punch stats are probably on every single website because these numbers matter in boxing.
Yeah, good to have. Thanks for having me back on. It was a big night for CompuBox. It was a big night for boxing in general. So, we were, we had the luxury of being all over ESPN, Bottom Line. It was good coverage, and the stats told much of the story. I mean, if you look at the round by round numbers, which I like to do when a fight goes to the decision, 90% of the times the guy who lands more punches is going to win the fight. And if you break it down round by round, it kind of correlates with how most people score the fight. I mean, Floyd outlanded him in 10 of 12 rounds, and most people gave it 10-2.
Now, the interesting stat that CompuBox was bringing up was the 19 and 18% of punches landed on Floyd, right? That Pacquiao was underneath the average.
Well, that's right around where that average is. That's over the last handful of fights. Mayweather's opponents land right around that average. And sure enough, Mayweather did exactly what he always does, and the numbers showed. When Mayweather is doing exactly what he's been doing, and his opponent does impress him, then they land, under 20%. It's like clockwork. It's going to happen every time.
Has anybody ever gone over 20% on Floyd?
Yeah, well, Maidana did. On that first fight, he landed 25%, and I believe. So I'm in the database now, just trying to go through it. But that was the last time someone. Maidana did it twice. But you're not going to get more than that. 25% is the max, at least over the last 10 fights.
And I'm assuming that was the first fight, correct?
That was the first fight. Even the second fight he landed.
While you look for those stats, how did because what everybody wants to know, obviously, is about that 10,000. How did that go? Because I see, obviously, like I told the listeners earlier, that Yugi won the 2,590, and even our host James won a couple of bucks on his fantasy boxing game. So could you tell us a little bit about that? How did that 10,000 get dispersed?
We had a great showing for that game. It filled up. We had 600 entries. It filled up Thursday, right in time for it to launch. And we had the username Yucky, who's been with us since we started the game. He's very good. He did a very good job. He entered in 5 times for that game, and he placed all 5 times. So he was able to take away over $2,500 for that game. First place got $1,500. So it was very successful, and we had the top 120 people played. The winning combo of fighters, the first place was Raimundo Beltran, Carlos Molina, Lomachenko, who I think stole the show Saturday night. That guy's a stud. And Takahashi Miura.
Whoa, come on, Nick. How could he steal the show fighting a nobody?
Well, he just, I know what you're saying.
The best in the main event.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He toyed with them. He got some rounds in. And
Speaking of doing exactly what you're supposed to do, Leo Santa Cruz, he's a guy that we know that throws a bunch of punches, similar to what we assumed and expected Pacquiao would do in his fight, but he didn't. But he in the game, because I still haven't started a game until I fully grasp it, but he in the game earned more points than Floyd. How does that happen?
Well, because Santa Cruz landed 402 punches. There's only been about 30 fighters in the history of CompuBox that have landed more than 400. So when you land 400, you're going to get some serious points. He had a plus minus of plus 14, which is he landed 43% of his punches. His opponent landed 29. That's a difference of 14, so that's the plus minus of 14. He landed 47% of his power punches. So, I mean, the 402 punches he landed got him a huge amount of points. So it's, Floyd, his plus minus, which is normally in the 20s, 24, 25%, he was a plus 15. And, he landed 148 punches, which, compared to Santa Cruz, it's 250 less punches landed.
So then I guess like for next week's fight, Canelo and Kirkland, both those guys throw a lot of punches. So it would be, it's intelligent to do a game on that, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So for them, you don't want to pick both guys because you're going to get a lot of points if your fighter wins. But that's a fight that you want to have one of them in their game. If you think Canelo is your boy and you think he's going to dominate, that's someone that he's a must to have. And as you can see, I named those that magic combo of fighters. It didn't include Mayweather or Pacquiao, because if you really think about it, Mayweather lands, he has a high plus minus. He just doesn't throw enough to warrant, a top pick.
What was your perception of the fight? I mean, I didn't even get that. Were you as let down a lot? I mean, we got a lot of casual fans that feel let down. They feel robbed of last night's entertainment, especially paying $100.
I mean, I've seen probably every single one of Mayweather's fights, and you can't get disappointed with that. He did exactly what he was going to do. If Pacquiao didn't press him, Pacquiao didn't press. He didn't throw. You heard Al Bernstein say it from the beginning. If Mayweather doesn't if Pacquiao doesn't throw at least 60 punches in that first round, then it's just not gonna happen for him. And he only threw 29 punches. You can't win a fight against Mayweather if you're throwing less than him. It's impossible. It will never happen. So he showed exactly what he's all about. Exactly.
One of my listeners just tweeted in saying that a stat from CompuBox regarding Floyd's plus minus is 30. That's the best of all time. Next closest is Hagler at a plus 17 and Ali at a plus 4.
No, I don't think that's the top three. There's guys, Canelo has a high plus minus. I don't have it in front of me. Canelo has a high plus minus. Mayweather usually he's in the plus 20, 22, 23, 24, around that number. Canelo's up there. Santa Cruz is up there. It has to be versus quality opponents. So, Broner was up there for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Floyd's the leader of the plus minus. He's the best defensive fighter, one of the best defensive fighters of all time.
Now, we brought up Canelo a few times. I know that you're doing another fantasy boxing game on Canelo. Why is that one only 4,000? Is it according to the amount of people that get involved, or do you guys set the amount per game as you develop the game?
Yeah, we're still developing. It varies. We knew we were going to get more publicity for the Pacquiao fight, so we could warrant the $10,000 game. We knew we were going to get the 600 entries would be there. So once the the hype of that fight is over with, we hope there's no drop off, but we have to we have to assume that there's going to be some drop off. So $4,000 is still a lot of money to give away. So we'll always have that that 4,000 to 10,000, and the plan is to keep building it slowly, and we want to have $50,000, $100,000 games. I don't see why we can't do it.
And it'll always still be $20 to enter?
Well, it's going to vary. I mean, it could be less. If we have enough players, we can do a $10 entry. We can do a $5 entry. It's just we have to we have to look at the amount of members we have, what we think, how many people we're going to play, and it's a numbers game. We have to be smart about it, and I don't see it ever going higher than 20, but it definitely can go lower than that.
Well, Nick, give me 1 minute here. Let me get to some of these callers, man, because these phone lines are still jam-packed. What do we got? 469, you're live. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Man, just give me my crow, bro.
Yeah, Miguel, you've been a big Pacquiao fan, man. I almost feel bad giving you this because I knew that it was going to be.
You know what, dude? Good thing you're saying that, man. That's not me and my wife were debating because she's a casual fan, and she doesn't like Floyd's style. I like Floyd. I just don't like his persona, which a lot of people, that's probably the reason why they hate him. But I'm gonna be honest, dude. He doesn't have to prove to me nothing else. Motherfucker's the best ever. If he's gonna come out there and whoop everybody, 20 pounds over, 10 pounds under, whatever the case is, faster, quicker, whatever the case is, tell me who's done it, bro. I mean, until proven otherwise, like I told my wife yesterday, she was all mad. Why is he clinching? I don't like the clinching part, yes. But I told my wife, babe, Pacquiao, he knows that if he wants to prove to everybody else wrong that he's better than Floyd, he has to prove that in the ring. He has to go in there, work his fucking arm, whatever he's got to do, but he's got to do something in that ring. And he pulled up.
Miguel, let me give you what you deserve.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I hope you smarten up for the next time. But this doesn't discredit Pacquiao, man. He's still the number 2 fighter. But look, let me get to some other callers. Of course, these phone lines are jam-packed. Nick, before I let you go, though, how could we get it to 150,000? Because again, my thing is it's safe to put my money with you. I feel as safe as I did making a bet out here in Vegas. So how do we get it to 150,000 for each fight, or something that is shockingly high like that 10,000?
Like I said, it's just getting the word out. We're going to continue marketing the game. We're trying to do partnerships with promoters, with TV networks. We did mention that that Live Central page where you can score the fight. We weren't 100% ready with that over the weekend, but we will be making a partnership with Fox Sports and Golden Boy. And this Thursday, if all goes well, we'll have that going for their fights Thursday night. And then we're talking with other promoters and other TV networks to get the word out. Talking to other websites, and it's getting the word out. There's plenty of boxing fans out there that would love to play a game like this, and once we have enough for them, we can get the prizes up. Because it's all about the pool of money. It's you're not betting against the house. We're not a sports book, or so it's all about the amount of players. And as long as we have enough players, then the money will follow.
Well, all right, Nick, I'm gonna let you go because I got a lot of people to attend to here. But again, I like to have you on. I mean, obviously, CompuBox, something that we can all believe in, and in boxing, we don't really have this unless you live here in Vegas, where I'm at now for the fight. It's really difficult. So this is a fun way for us to really test our knowledge. I mean, this is what our show is based on. So I just I love it. But I'm gonna get to some other callers here. Looks like Philadelphia 267. You're up.
Yo, Ness, what's up, man? DJ Cruz from Philly, man.
DJ Cruz,
I'm
what up?
Good, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. I was disappointed with the fight, more so because Pacquiao didn't put up more effort than I expected. Keeping it short, man. I know you got a lot of callers, but first of all, just to clarify on Mayweather, he didn't move up to fight Corrales. They were both 130 pounders. He didn't move up to fight Hernandez. They were both 130 pounders. He moved up to fight Castillo. He moved up to fight Cotto, stuff like that. When I hear people talking about that he's the greatest ever, the best ever, man, I can't buy that, man. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter, but I can't. Let's put it this way. Pretty much to kind of clarify everything, Cotto, who you know I love, that's my man. I think Cotto's one of the best fighters of this era. Mayweather beat him. But I don't give Cotto a hell of a chance at all. No chance to beat Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Henry. He would get knocked out by both of them. Reality. you take somebody like Thomas Holmes who's 6'1" to get in the ring with somebody like Mayweather. If his father in the 6th round had to tell him, "What the fuck are you doing?" got him to that. It looked like he was about to walk out the ring because it was a crisis. Because guess what? He had got rocked in the 6th round and he got rocked in the 4th round. Can you imagine somebody like Thomas Hearns, who's 6'1", had the speed to match him, had a long jab that Mayweather would never get in? He wouldn't even be able to come inward. You know, at the end of the day, it's about styles make fights. Cotto gave Mayweather a better fight than Pacquiao does, because guess what? Pacquiao doesn't know how to fight coming forward. He's not a pressure fighter. Let me tell you something. I've been in the ring since I was 16 years old. I'm 48 years old. I watched boxing. I sparred. I've done Muay Thai. I've done everything. It's very, very, you got to have balls to be able to come forward and put a lot of pressure on somebody and do it effectively. Cotto does it. Trinidad did it. Chavez did it. Pacquiao can't do it. Guess what? You can't come in on Floyd Mayweather and then you have no rhythm to get in and out. You done. And I'm gonna tell you, in regards to Muhammad Ali, Ness, if you really want to get a little bit more educated on it, check this out. The bread man, the man who trains Julian Williams, I check out his mailbag all the time. I love his analogy to the fight. He broke it down perfectly because I was just like you. I sat there, I said to myself, Pacquiao, it'll be better for Pacquiao to win this fight because guess what? It'll force a rematch. You know what I mean? It'll bring Mayweather more down, and that means if Mayweather decides to fight other fighters, it's more competitive. Because really, where does he go from here? Like you said that a couple shows ago. But check this out. When I read that mailbag on Saturday, I said to myself, Mayweather's gonna start his kid. Breadman broke it down perfectly. Pacquiao's not the same fighter. He's not the same dynamic offensive fighter who could throw 1,200 punches in a round. Can't do it no more. They showed in this fight. Breadman called it perfectly. So, and he also had a long article on Muhammad Ali, breaking down all his fights. The man beat 4 gold medalists. 4 gold medalists. George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Floyd Patterson, and Leon Spinks. I really got, you could talk about weight, you could talk about, being 49-0, this, that, the other. Man, Rocky Marciano's 49-0. And there's no way in hell that he would sit there and beat George Foreman or he would beat Muhammad Ali. He would get started by both some guys. So you can't really go on record like that. You got to look at the competition also. Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns met at their peak. 2 great fighters at their peak, 5'10", 6'1". You tell me if Mayweather got a shot with some guys. Canelo, he fought Canelo, he fought Canelo, a younger, not as seasoned, who just came off fighting his biggest fight against Austin Trout. That was his only legitimate fight. Other than that, because he's fighting Ricky Hatton's brother, whatever it may be. Now Canelo seems to finally, from that Mayweather fight, learn from it, and guess what? Now he's fighting more aggressive. He's not letting motherfuckers take the choke from him. Laura, he's gonna kill Kirkland. He's gonna smash him next week. So I'm not to keep it short, man. So basically, man, like I said, if you guys wanna, kind of do a little bit more homework, because I feel like I'm listening to this. I'm like, everybody's calling and talking about Mayweather, how great he is. He's a great fighter, but he's not the all-time best. Sorry, can't even come close to even saying that. When you got somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson who sat there and fought 147, 160, 175, was beating the light heavyweight champion of the world, but guess what? He quit in the 13th round because the heat was too much. Come on, man.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense, bro. if Mayweather's frame doesn't allow him to gain 175 pounds and move up, like I don't understand. What does he have?
Listen. I'm not saying about him for him to move up to 175, but your boy that you were talking to earlier, he kind of hit it on the head. At the end of the day, how many fights has Mayweather walked into where you could say he was the underdog? I can't recall one. Not one of them. Even when he was young, when I seen him first come up, not one. Period. Ali, when he fought, George Foreman was the underdog. When he fought Sonny Liston, he was the underdog. And guess what? Ali couldn't fight for 3 years, from the age of 25 to 28. Can you imagine that? 3 years of your prime is gone. Couldn't even fight.
Well, that's because the government didn't allow him to
I understand, but I understand that, Robbie. But I'm saying is this: 3 years. Take away 3 years from Floyd Mayweather from 25 to 28. How great would he have been?
No, you
man.
bring up some good points, man.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, and look, if Mayweather did decide to move up and fight Golovkin, I'm not saying he got to do it, because guess what? To me, he's the best fighter in this era, period. Everybody. To me, Mayweather is the best post-Roy Jones, to me. He's a great fighter, but guess what? To say that he's the best ever? Nah, man, you gotta go on YouTube and watch all these old fighters, from Duran and Leonard and Hearns and Benitez. Shit. Great fighters, man. Anyway,
well, all right,
love the show as
I'm
always.
gonna get to some other people here.
You take it easy, my man.
All right, 678.
Hey, what's going on, man? Alex.
What's up, brother?
Man. Just calling in. Just want to make a couple quick points. I'm a casual fan, huge Floyd Mayweather fan, and I think, I'm speaking kind of on behalf of a lot of casual fans, but I say, man, the fight was kind of underwhelming. I mean, I've watched a lot of Mayweather fights. I watched a lot of Pacquiao fights, and I don't know, man. I still think I think maybe the styles just didn't match up really well. I mean, Floyd clearly won the fight in my opinion, but I think unlike a lot of other Floyd fights, when he, figures out the guy, I mean, he didn't dominate Pacquiao the way that he dominated a Canelo or a Guerrero, right? And I mean, even when you look at the Maidana fights, which were fights where arguably some people had, Maidana winning 5 out of, the 12 rounds that they fought in their first fight, right? But even in the latter half of that fight, I really felt like he gave, Maidana the business toward the end of that fight. And I mean, if you look at like the Canelo performance, the Guerrero performance, I mean, the way that he just kind of dominated and destroyed those guys toward the end of the fights, once he kind of figured them out, man. He didn't do that with Pacquiao. And that made it really slow. And Pacquiao also, too, didn't come to get that W, man. I don't know what the plan was or kind of, what he was doing, man. But, I mean, he didn't, I don't think he came to get that W, man. So that's why I think it was kind of just, I think a lot of people walked away from it. I don't think that their satisfaction with the fight should be placed on Floyd. I don't think it was necessarily Floyd's fault. I think that, he just didn't figure, Pacquiao out to the same degree that, he figured out a lot of the other guys that he fought, That's my take on that.
Well, all right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Let me see what we got here. 857, you're up.
Yo, give me that crow. Yo, I'll keep this short. I thought Pacquiao was straight left. I thought he was going to throw it a little more. I thought he was going to crack 650, 700 punches. But as far as the best ever and numbers, you have to understand Sugar Ray Robinson was 43-0. He lost to Jake LaMotta. He fought him and beat him 3 weeks later. He didn't lose again until he was 128-1. And you said earlier, wouldn't it be cool if Mayweather fought Chavez, cleaned out the division? Well, Sugar Ray Robinson really took on all comers. And he didn't pick his spots like Floyd. At the same time, I don't think he ever made $200 million. So, boom, that's it, though. Boxing Voice.
All right.
All right, peace.
Short and sweet. What do we got here? 904, you're up.
You hit me up earlier, man. I'm
All
just
right.
listening now.
651, you're up. 651. 323. 209. 209.
Ness, it's me, Jay Corpus, 209.
What's up?
What's up, man? It was tight, man. I was there. It was the first time in Vegas. The MGM was full of the hood. It was awesome. I was amongst all the drama there. That was tight. I have a question for you, Ness. Real quick. I'm sorry. I know you gotta go. But did the clinching bother you? I don't know if you covered that yet.
I don't think it was excessive. I think that he did like two clinches that were borderline dirty. You know, the headlock, and then one where he even hit on the headlock, but it wasn't Kelbrook. It wasn't Devin Alexander. It wasn't Maidana. That fight with Devin Alexander Maidana. It wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
I don't think it affected the fight. Is all I want to I don't think it affected.
So you're saying Kenny Bayless, he did a really, really good job then, right?
I thought that he did. I think that he asserted himself. I think that he warned Floyd for the low blow. I think that even when Pacquiao complained, Bayless was he was all over that.
I thought it was a little bit excessive, to be honest, dude.
The clinching?
Yeah, it was a little bit too much for me. Because, the reason why Pacquiao's punching volume were down to me, because one, for Floyd's style and his ability to box, right? And the clinching. Those were the two. Those are two keys to, and when Pacquiao, I felt like every time he got close, not every time, but when he had an opportunity to get close, I think Floyd Mayweather seen an opportunity to wrap him up. So I don't know, that messed it up for me. And I have a question for the dude that does CompuBox. Like, should he implement like clinches and headbutts for like statistical stats, and like that? Should that be part of like?
Man, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That's a good question to ask him. If what if we would, because that would be awesome to see on the screen how many clinches, man, per round. That's a good idea.
Yeah, man. Like, since we look at data, that's what we like looking at, and we look at the data, and we look at like Pacquiao's like data, and it didn't match, and there just had to been a reason for that. And like I said, it was because of Floyd's ability to box and the clinching, man. It just bothered me every time he got close. And Floyd, man, he looked stronger. He looked bigger. He was able to just push Pacquiao away with his forearm. And I don't know if you should implement that too, because every time Pacquiao would try to throw, his flurries, Floyd was able to like push him with his forearms, dude. And he was like his punches weren't connecting. And I know you guys are talking about like the best ever, right? I don't know if it's the right attitude to self-proclaim a title. I think the wave of us as a boxing community will write that into one story. So I'll leave it up with that.
That is also another good point, but power is perception. So he needed to let us know what he was so that we could understand what he truly is. That's all. I mean, I just don't get it. This was the guy that was supposed to, give him the hard time or give him this amazing fight. And he looked like an ordinary guy, in my opinion, He looked like anybody else. I mean, even I bought into the combination punching, hype, the speed. I ain't see
I
any
mean,
of it.
There. It was
I know
there.
I
It was
sure
just
did, and he didn't do enough.
What? It was there twice when he had those two little punk ass flurries.
those little two punk flurries.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
two
mean,
punk flurries because one of them, the replay that they show, they like those 4 punches landed all blocked, and then he landed 2 body punches. I mean, he gets a lot of credit. He gets too much credit for sometimes.
but there was enough clinching to stop those flurries that were potentially might happen, right? No.
I mean, I don't know, Jay Corpus. I'm sure you've been listening. I'm sure you're gonna go back and listen, and you're the first person to bring up clinching.
No, I didn't think. Look, I don't like clinching, but I didn't think it was a big problem in the fight.
When we watch this replay, dog, because we all just watched it once. This whole world watched it just once. When we watched it again, man, keep that in mind. All right? So I'll leave you guys with that. And,
All right.
Floyd Mayweather, to me.
Hey, Jay Corpus, and another thing, how you say you was out here? Why you ain't text me?
Man, you guys are doing you guys' thing. I don't want to bother you guys. And
What? I had mad listeners in there over here at the fight party. It was mad people that listened to the show here.
I know, man. I didn't want to bother you guys, man. You guys are doing, I don't call in all the time. And you guys are doing
Dude, you've been listening for 3 years, bro. You've been listening for 3 years. What are you talking about? You got my cell phone number. You sound like a weirdo right now.
That's
all
it,
right, brother,
man. Let me go. I'm gonna go.
I know we on different coasts. So for anyone who doesn't understand my love, I'm not dissing Jay Corpus. I'm trying to explain to him he my boy. He could have definitely hung out with us. 416, you're up. 416. 416. 832. 832. 832. 267.
Yo, you hear me?
Yo. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this Sean from Philly.
What's up?
Well, I got some questions, and I'll make it quick because I know you're tired. It's been a long show. But I was listening, and your boy who just called, he's talking about all the clinching that was done. Not once did y'all ask him who he picked for the fight. So he might have not got his crow. Because all of that sounds like excuses to me. It wasn't excessive clinching at all. And no, I didn't watch the fight just once. A lot of people DVR'd the fight. A lot of people watched the fight on YouTube, namely myself. I watched it again on YouTube before they took it down. First of all, Mayweather outboxed him. He fought the same fight he always fights. If Mayweather would have knocked this dude out, all it would have been was, Mayweather memo on radio was in his camp with Alex and Visa. He must have been on PC. Did anybody see Pacquiao's back acting? It's like, come on, did anybody see these things? But everybody points out everything with Floyd. The dude went in there did everything he does the way he does it. The only thing I didn't like about Floyd was he seemed really hesitant for the first 6 rounds. He was boxing. He was doing what he was supposed to do, but he seemed like he was very uncomfortable with Pacquiao at the beginning. And that his father even told him, yo, you fighting scared. What's wrong with you? Put at least 2 punches together when you do go to straight right. Bring over the left hook, right with it. But Floyd seen what he did. He seen what he seen, and he fought his fight, and he won. Should he be considered TBE? Whatever he believes himself to be, we'll judge it once he retires. That's what they did with Muhammad Ali. They didn't believe he was the greatest because he said he was the greatest. After he got sick or after he retired, then they said, all right, Muhammad Ali was the greatest. Just because of what he stood for and who he fought. It's not Floyd fight the competition. Floyd fought because the competition is not what it was back in the day. These fighters aren't the same no more. Simple as that. It's all about money now. We all know this. Some of us don't want to admit it, but it is what it is. And for the guy who said something about Canelo, now Canelo is a little bit better. Canelo was green when he fought Floyd. You ever think that maybe since Floyd schooled him, he learned something from that classroom session, and now he's a better fighter? Canelo had over 50-something fights when he fought Floyd. How green could you be? But that's all I got to say, man. And Manny shocked me, man, because all of that Christian talk. I'm a Christian too. For all of that Christian talk, for whatever it was worth, you should have just gracefully bowed out and said, "Yo, listen, he was the better man tonight." But you go, "Oh, my shoulder was hurting, and we've been told the Nevada State Athletic Commission, da da da." When that reporter asked Bob that hard question, that's what I mean about reporters and bloggers asking the right question. He said, "How you gonna complain about a shoulder and tell us he's been injured, and you charging people $100 for a fight?" Now you want to bring up Kobe Bryant, the same doctor? Man, nobody want to hear that shit, Bob. You full of shit just like Floyd is. Ain't nobody no different. They both got rich. They both doing good. It was a good fight in my eyes, because who want to always see somebody just beating on somebody and there's no skill? This is boxing. It's not brawling. So I enjoyed it, And my question is to you, Ned. They was talking about a shot in Pacquiao. They was trying to get a shot in Pacquiao's shoulder to numb up his arm before the fight, and he got denied. But one of these the same people, not Pacquiao in particular, but the people around talking about the stuff Floyd shoot up in his hand, but all of a sudden it's okay for you to ask for a shot in his arm? Come the fuck on, man. Come on.
Well, all right, brother. 407. 407?
Hey, Charles here from New Tampa.
What's up, Charles?
Hey, man, how you doing? A couple points. As far as TBE, the best ever, it's an opinion. So it's okay for Floyd to say it. And anyone who agrees and believes as well, that's okay too. Anybody's opinion is valid in this respect. So, it's all good. It's just an opinion. Nobody's going to be able to disprove anybody either way. So there's no need to get all bogged down on it. It's just a fun thing to discuss. And as far as his offense and defense, I think he is the best combination of both working at the same time, at least that I've seen, because I can point out defensive flaws in Ali and offensive flaws in Ali and the same in Sugar Ray.
Can't you really do that with every fighter, though?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With Floyd, I think that he's the best combination of offense and defense in one fighter that I have ever seen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you because I can't really think of a flaw either way that Floyd has.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Can he beat everybody up who's ever lived? No, of course not. But if you're talking boxing skills, yeah, he definitely got the skills. I think ESPN really did him a disservice, and I'm not going to say it was a racial thing or anything like that. I think it's a personality thing. They don't like Floyd, for whatever reason, whatever. But they tried to hand him a loss even though he won. That's for sure. That's the sense that I got.
Well, the unfortunate thing about it is, we hardcore fans, we follow what goes on in boxing on a weekly basis. But ESPN came to this party late, and they influence a lot of casual people. And it looked like to me they were trying to kill the sport last night.
Yeah, but not only were they trying to kill the sport, but I guess the sport itself was collateral damage because they were really trying to get Floyd. And I think a lot of the disappointment was not so much against Floyd, it's misdirected disappointment because that disappointment was really in Pacquiao, but nobody was really saying that because he was supposed to be their savior and be the guy that was really going to knock Floyd on his you-know-what, and the world was going to be set right. But that did not happen. And Floyd did the same thing to Pacquiao that he does to all his opponents throughout 19 years, and he just makes them look ordinary, and he doesn't have that killer instinct like Sugar Ray and all those guys, to go in there like his father was yelling at him to throw the hook, and I was yelling at the TV, throw the hook. Pacquiao couldn't get out the way of nothing. He could have knocked him out, I think, but he just doesn't have that in him. He never did. Somebody had said it on one of the calls last week. No, it was, I think Lennox Lewis said it, or maybe it was Paulie Malignaggi. He says, you have to make Floyd knock you out by coming at him, like Hatton did. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way he fights. That's his style, and it's all good. And I think the difference between Floyd and the boxing kings of yesteryear is that they all had competitive equals. They just did. But Floyd doesn't. He's proven that he has no equals. Out of his 19-year tenure as champion, he has no boxing equal. He's superior to all his opponents. And whoever you put in front of him, whether they're bigger, whether they're smaller, if you go back and you watch on YouTube all of his fights, we have the advantage now knowing the end from the beginning. But if you go back and watch those fights and you put yourself back there and you listen to the commentary, those guys didn't know what was going to happen the next fight. And you hear their commentary and they're always like, oh, well, he was good, but I don't know what he's going to do against Corrales, and I don't know what he's going to do against Gotti, and I don't know what he's going to do against this next one. And he was spanked each and every guy in succession. And then after he beats them, they discredit him and say that the guy was a bump. And it's just like, nah, Floyd's just not going to get the credit. But you know how it is. What's going to happen, I was telling my son, what'll happen is Floyd will get old or Floyd will die, and some new young lion will come up, and he'll say he was the best ever. And they'll say, oh, look, Floyd, if Floyd is still alive, look, Floyd, this guy's saying he's the best. And they'll be mad at that guy for being so brash and being so confident and, being so braggadocious. And now they'll make Floyd a saint. That's how it works. Because when Ali was saying it, he was saying it, and they were telling him he wasn't the greatest. And they were comparing him to Jack Johnson and Joe Louis and everybody else. They were telling him he wasn't the greatest. He was his own biggest fan back then. I remember. And you remember when he came back? After his exit, he came back, he won, and he was telling them to bow to him.
Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah.
I am the greatest, I told you, and he was bowed to me, and I'm cracking up, I'm laughing, this is hilarious, but they didn't believe it, so, he wasn't always, the saint, we got a way of just making everybody a hero after we tried to destroy them, and you should really love people while they're around.
That's right.
Appreciate people in their prime. That's all. I thank you for your time, and you guys have a great show. Thanks.
Thank you, brother. 813, you're up. 813. $409.
It's good, E Black here. Man, look, I don't know, y'all got some crow, right? But do y'all have celebratory music?
Nah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. For those that pick Mayweather, oh yeah, we got some.
Yeah, let me get some Mayweather. My name is Money Mayweather. That's what I'm talking about, man. Why everybody in their feelings right now? What's going on? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm flabbergasted. I sit there and watch the fight. I knew it was going to happen. I told y'all last week. I said, look, this is not a matchup. This Floyd too big. He's too smart. Not only that, Pacquiao, what is he? Who is he? What y'all talking about 1,000-punch Pacquiao, 650, 750. He ain't. If he didn't do that to Timothy Bradley, what do you think he was going to do to Floyd? And I kept on telling people, it's like, y'all, the fighter you guys are talking about, I don't know. I know the fighter that's been fighting and got knocked out. So, everybody in their feeling, I knew it was going to happen. And I'm like, man, I'm in a celebratory mood. The whole party left. Like, damn, what? Everybody in their feelings. We had a count. We called them all out. We said, who a Mayweather fan? Who a Pacquiao fan?
Yeah, we separated them over here.
Yeah, we separated them, but then everybody got in a salty mood. I'm like, what's really going on? Is it really that? So, hey, all my Floyd Mayweather fans, my true Floyd Mayweather fans, because I ride with my boxers. You know, I go to boxingreg.com. I got a list of 10 fighters, 12 fighters, 15 fighters that I watch. And when people talk about fighters and up-and-coming fighters, I'll say my favorite fighters. You know? So I don't know what's going on, but, you know, first of all, I want to really say something. Floyd need to retire. I love my dude, bruh. We all love Floyd, but he need to retire. What I seen in him, he should have really knocked him out. He really should have knocked him out. And I'm watching him, and I'm watching the fight, and I see Pacquiao was a good fight. I'm like, dang, but he really should knock him out. The Floyd that I know, the Money Mayweather, the pretty boy, I didn't see that, and I didn't like what I saw. He did what he did, but I didn't like the edge that I saw him in.
But actually, Robert, who called in earlier, brought it up perfectly. This was a better win for Floyd because nobody can take it away from him. If he would have went in there and knocked out Pacquiao, everybody would have said, "Oh, Pacquiao, he never recovered from Marquez," and made all kinds of excuses. See, this way, Floyd went the whole 12 rounds, dominated the fight, made Pacquiao look like he shouldn't be in the ring, and it gives something else for people to discuss. If he would have blown him out earlier, people would have been all upset at that.
So Manny Pacquiao suggests that he believes he won the fight, and of course all great competitors want to believe that they've done more than they may have actually done in a given circumstance. It wasn't a difficult fight to score. It was a clear Floyd Mayweather win by unanimous decision. At the end of the day, it's yet another indicator of the competitive greatness and the difficulty of beating this particular man.
The Scholar, talk to me.
How you doing, man? I know you had a good time over in Vegas.
Hey, Suleiman, I need you to speak up.
Okay, you had a good time in that Vegas. I see you partying over there. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us. Now about the fight. Floyd Mayweather displayed beautiful skills for his age. His conditioning was fantastic. The wear and tear of all the fights showed Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he was trying to
Suleiman, didn't you pick Pacquiao?
No, I did not, sir. I'm a FOMO. You know that?
No, we don't say that word no more because that was before Pacquiao because he never faced him. So that doesn't exist anymore. We're just Floyd Mayweather fans. We believe that he wins. That's it.
That's it. So, yeah, the fight was beautiful. He displayed great skills for his age. And Pacquiao was trying to figure him out. He couldn't. He was dodging. And sometimes it clearly showed. People was watching a fight, and even at the end, you could see like the stunned look in Freddie Roach's face when Floyd passed by after he won the fight. He beat him in every aspect. He outboxed him. He tagged him with a right hand multiple times. I mean, Pacquiao has a pretty good jaw. I mean, he hit him multiple times. He has a good jaw, and he fought a lot of great fighters, starting from 130 all the way up. Because these guys talking about Saul had, at one time, he was like a little Tyson. He was fighting champions, ex-champions. Carlos Baldomar knocked him out. He fought Jose Cotto, Miguel Cotto's big brother. He fought all those opponents, and he looked good. And he was pushing for the Floyd Mayweather fight even before Austin Trout. He was pushing for that fight, and he got the fight, and he lost. And the whole reason Mayweather beat him was because made him box. He backed him up. Okay, he took away his skill asset. And that's what he did in this fight. He took away Manny Pacquiao's skill asset. He took away his speed. He took away his combination punching. He made him look like an amateur fighter. At the end of the day, to me, everybody's talking about, I think if he fights Triple G, it's too much. Even if he went to 160, right? And Floyd now, if he uses that skill asset that he has and he boxes, I think Floyd could win that fight, and that could be his legacy, because also not too many people are knocking on Triple G's door. Miguel Cotto obviously doesn't want to fight him. He's fighting guys that everybody's complaining about, even though they're credible opponents. So if Floyd wants to do that and fight, it'll be something like a Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. It'll be a lot of negotiations, but it could happen, and it'll be a good fight, because you fight a competent, well accomplished middleweight champion that nobody else wants to fight, and that's what the fans want to see, and that'll complete his legacy. Everybody's saying that he's not the TBE. He is the TBE. He has no losses. He beat every possible opponent in every division. The way he beat Arturo Gatti was unbelievable. At that time, that's he's done the world. He knocked out Angel Manfredi after he beat Gatti. Angel Manfredi was supposed to be the thing in 130, and he made him sit on the bottom rope. Okay, he has beat up a lot of fighters that were very credible in his career. And this is a fighter that people are going to examine his style. He's a great role model. I don't appreciate when people mention his mistake that he had, his domestic mistake that he had with his wife, which that should be personal, shouldn't be brought up. He paid his dues for that, and he was very professional the way he answered the question when the guy asked him about that, because he said he cares about education for his children, about maintaining his children, about creating a legacy for himself. He was very professional, and I noticed that he's going to be a great role model for a lot of American fans, and that's what people want to see. The other fights on the undercard were pretty good.
Suleiman, I'm gonna keep it moving. We can't do undercards, baby. We got too many people here. 714.
Yo, what up, Matt? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yo, actually, I agree with Jay Corpus, man. I thought the clinching was a little excessive.
You got to speak up.
I said I agree with Jay Corpus in regards to the clinching. I thought maybe about up to the 6th round it was a little excessive. After that, he pretty much just stopped clinching. But in probably like the first 6 rounds, what really bothered me, and the reason I was a little let down by this fight was because we've seen one of your callers mentioned everything Floyd can do. He can basically do it better than anyone else in the sport. The reason I was let down is because like with fighters like Maidana and like Cotto, they pushed him, trying to fight on the inside, and I was surprised how good he could throw to the body against those fighters. And in this fight, I just felt instead of engaging, his first line of defense was to go for the clinch. And to me, and to be honest with you, I was so pumped up before the fight, and when I was seeing that, I was surprised you guys didn't notice that. I thought you guys were going to mention something about the clinching for the first 6 rounds.
So you thought it was excessive?
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't bothered too much by it. Only really like the first 6 rounds.
You sound very far, caller. You sound very far. Are you using a speaker phone or?
Yeah, I'm on the earphones.
But we're gonna get to some other people, brother, because you got a bad connection there. 978.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm trying to take myself off speaker. Hey, how's it going? So I gotta eat my crow, man. All right, but I got called in last week, and I was talking about the clinching, against the Maidana fight. But I really didn't think Floyd clinched it as much as I thought he was going to. I thought it was more tactical than excessive, So I'll give him that. And I don't know. I just felt like I felt like the fight was lackluster. I don't know. It's like it's like getting your dick sucked when you want to smash. It's like I'm like I got the nut, but it's not exactly what I wanted. So I'm just happy the fight's over now and we can move forward with the sport. All right, fellas, that's all I want to say.
All right, short and sweet. Dig the analogy. I get the analogy. 956, you're up.
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 'cause I know one of your pet peeves is like if you don't have like a good connection, man, I'll see you later. Well, anyways, first time caller, bro.
All right, that's what I love.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut, he is
Fighting out of Brownsville, Texas, 5'10", 185 pounds, a.k.a. Bubba Mario. I hit you up in...
On Twitter, I see that.
I hit you up in Twitter at Bubba Mario a couple of times, but this is my first time call, man. I've been listening to you for like 3 or 4 years, but I always catch you on the podcast. I rarely catch you like a live show, and I try to make call prediction, but I called and said your show would be on in 15 minutes. Kept calling, but I couldn't get through, bro. Sorry, but I was going for Mayweather, but a little nervous. But anyways, I don't know why these people say, Hagler could have beat him. Sugar, we don't know that. You know what I mean? We don't even know that because we can't put them together, unfortunately. Anyways, I don't know if you guys caught an interview about, I think it was SportsCenter interviewing Floyd. He said, I think I got my words correctly. He said TBE. He said he was the best fighter of his generation. He didn't say he was the best fighter of all time. And I don't know if you guys heard that.
Who said that? Floyd?
Floyd, yeah, Floyd. They got an interview with him.
Yeah, but it's kind of tough to say TBE of your generation. Like, that ain't what the hat say. That ain't what the shirt say. And, that's something new because he just always said the best ever. But whatever, man. It's like the last caller said it. When Ali was saying he was the greatest of all time, nobody ain't believe him.
Yeah, I understand. But, I mean, I have family that are friends with Pacquiao and stuff, and they're just texting me, oh, you love a hugger. I mean, man, I can tell that they're not hardcore boxing fans because a hardcore boxing fan wants defense, wants punching. You know what I mean? A casual fan just wants brawling, and that's all they want. That's why Mayweather's 48-0 because I mean, he has super good defense, and he just doesn't want to brawl because. I mean, if Floyd would have brawled like a lot of fights, he would have had a one loss or something, Finally, someone would have KO'd him. You know what I mean?
Floyd has said on interviews in the past that he never wants to be in a war, so he's trained himself to never be in a war.
Of course, because I guess he sees Ali how he is right now. He was in a bunch of wars, but. He's something wrong with him. He's kind of sick or something. And if I would be a fighter, I wouldn't want to be like that either. You know what I mean? I want to grow up and see my kids and stuff. Well, anyways, I know you got a lot of callers, but I knew Floyd was going to take it. And love the show. And yeah, I already gave you a 5-star review on iTunes. I was the one that said, yeah, I'm a Mexican, but I celebrate my Independence Day on 4th of July and not September 15th. Anyways, that's all I got to say, and I'll catch you guys later on the podcast.
All right, brother. Block caller.
Holy cow.
Oh, buddy. Another block caller. He must be calling from 2 Skypes.
That's terrible.
951.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up? It's me, el compa de Los Angeles.
Compa, what's up?
What up, man? I gotta eat my crow. I picked Pacquiao. I just like, I got Mayweather. But yeah, man, I don't know. Pacquiao didn't really do shit, man. I thought he was gonna try to rush Mayweather more, but he didn't. Mayweather just made him look ordinary, And everybody has to stop hating on Mayweather because he did a good job. And I think Amir Khan would be an interesting fight, because he's tall and he has speed. And I think that'll be an interesting fight. What do you guys think?
Well, I think that's what we're going to get next.
Yeah.
And here's Amir Khan, who's been saying, I'm not going to fight anybody because the Mayweather fight there for me, the Pacquiao fight's there for me. Well, he's finally going to get his wish, but he may not like the result when it's over.
Hey, well, we'll see. People are gonna say he's gonna knock him out, but I don't think so. But I have a friend right. He's a big Mayweather fan, and he wants to say something real quick. Wait up.
All you people need to stop hating on Money Mayweather, baby. He's the best ever, baby. TNT.
Hey, all right, cool. Thank you guys. Bye.
All right, brother. 201, you're up.
Yo, what is up? Jersey Sev, man. Jersey Sev is in the house. How are you guys doing? How are you, Robbie?
I'm doing good, man. Good show.
Yeah, damn right. It's a good fucking show. Well, I got a few things to say, you know. Starting off with congratulations to Floyd Mayweather. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. And except for I did think that he was going to use his left hook a little bit more. But, you know, that straight right hand, like I was saying, was one of the keys to victory. Fighting is all about controlling distance. And that's what he did from the first second to the last second. He had control over the distance of the fight. He was always controlling the range in which the fight was always fought at. And he was always to the range and favorable to him. Pacquiao at times looked like a little kid is swinging at air. But, to be honest, I am much more interested in watching Manny Pacquiao after this than Floyd. I want Floyd to retire. He's the best of his generation. We can't say TBE because, or at least I can't because I haven't seen every fighter that ever lived. But I have seen all the fighters who have fought within the past 20 years, and I think as far as accomplishments and head-to-head, he is probably the best of this generation, him and Bernard Hopkins. But I think Floyd edges it. As far as the best ever, I'm only 26, so I haven't seen all the fighters that ever lived. But the thing is this, going back to Manny Pacquiao's career, yeah, he's washed up, and yeah, he should have retired years ago. But he could still beat pretty much every welterweight, in my opinion, in the top 10, aside from Floyd. I mean, he's 50-50, or if not better, with anyone in the top 10 in the welterweight division. And I would love to see Manny Pacquiao fight Canelo Alvarez at a catchweight, or at 53, 52. If Canelo could still make that kind of weight for that kind of super fight, I would love to see it.
Well, Seth, I have a feeling that after Canelo beats Kirkland and fights Cotto, because that's part of the agreement, that he's going to be the one that takes on Triple G.
Well, Andre Ward actually just gave an offer to Triple G last I heard. So maybe he's going to move up and wait and fight Triple G. You know, if I'm Canelo, I'm not going to be thinking about fighting Triple G unless if it's like the only option. Because there's bigger money and more intriguing fights for less risk. And that's a benefit to him and to us as fans. Because let's not get it twisted. I don't want to see Triple G versus Canelo, and there's no way in hell I'm going to let anyone fucking try to market that shit to me. That's like shit on a plate, you know, with flies flying over it.
But why would you hate that fight, Seth? To me, that looks like a good fight.
Because I don't want to go to the stadium to watch an execution like Rob Salka, Danny Garcia. I want to go to the stadium and watch a fight. You know what I mean? If you know anything about fighting, you're going to know that Triple G is going to run over Canelo. Canelo is a welterweight that can't make 147, so they have him fighting at 154. And that's why for the first 2 years when he was on HBO, yeah, he was fighting at 154, but he was fighting welterweights at 154. And now this fat Mexican is having trouble making 154, and now it doesn't mean all of a sudden he's a middleweight. He's just a fat ass that can't make weight. He's a thick body. But he's not going to be able to operate efficiently at above 154. Not at this stage anymore, anyway, because he's not versatile enough. He's pretty basic. Just like Angel Garcia says, he's a good basic boxer, puncher. That's what Canelo is. And Triple G is a dynamic stalker. and he's so worlds beyond. He's not. I mean, not worlds beyond bigger than Canelo, but he's definitely has the size advantage, kind of like Mayweather-Pacquiao, and that's not going to be a competitive fight, and it will be over within 4 rounds. With that said, I would much rather see fights like Canelo and Pacquiao, or Canelo against Cotto, or Canelo against just fighters like that, because at the end of the day, I already know that he's not the truth, so we don't have to waste our time trying to figure out if Canelo's the truth or not. So just put him in exciting competitive fights for our entertainment. Please do that for me, HBO and Golden Boy. And that's what they are going to do. He's going to be like the poor man's version of Oscar De La for this generation, because he's not quite as good, not quite as potential as De La Hoya, but he is willing to face anybody, and he's very marketable, and he has got that female attraction of fans too. But going back to what happened, I'm just really happy that we're post Pacquiao Mayweather era, or Mayweather Pacquiao era. This is like I think they were holding the sport hostage for long enough. And even though I appreciate and love both fighters, and I'm a big Mayweather fan, I'm really glad this is all over and done with. Now we don't have to talk about it no more. We can look forward to the future and see what that holds. I hope these guys retire soon, with the exception of maybe Pacquiao. I'd like to see him in a few competitive matchups. But if it's going to be bullshit fights, I don't want to see it. With that said, I'm looking forward to this weekend's fight between Canelo and Kirkland, and I just can't wait for that block, because it's going to be good. And before I leave, I'll explain to you guys why ESPN was shitting all over the fight afterwards, because you have to think about it. ESPN, their main content is NFL, NBA, hockey, stuff like that, baseball, not really hockey, but, baseball, football, and basketball. That's their content. Now, they don't want to, they're not interested in promoting boxing, because then that's going to start competing with the other content. You know what I'm saying? And they have a certain package that they want to market off to their viewers, and boxing is not part of it, and you could only, their big three are the NFL, NBA, and baseball, and if they start consistently talking about boxing and stuff, that's going to shy fans away from the other sports. Or, I'm not saying it's definitely going to do that, but that's not in ESPN's best interest to keep talking about boxing. If it's a big money fight, they'll hop on it, and then afterwards, if it's just a normal fight, they'll shit all over it. So people go back to watching baseball and football. You know what I mean? And that's that.
Well, all right, brother.
I could argue that, but I won't.
985, you're up. 985. 985. All right. I hate to do it. I'm on a Mayweather-Pac show. That looks like all of them. A bunch jumped off. Obviously, the weight was too much. But what could we do? I'm gonna try and come back tomorrow, and give you guys the opportunity. I'm sure we'll be talking about it throughout the week. The aftermath. We got to let it all settle in realistically, and maybe we'll get more educated responses to what we witnessed. And I really want to try and get on here with James and a couple of the other guys and just give our experience, because it was just a wonderful past couple of days to share so many different moments with so many people. Jose, I mean, he's a guy that used to call in. He was a casual fan, and then I'm all weekend with him and his wife, and we're hanging out, and I get to put a face to the voice. I mean, it's not like we haven't met each other before, but we never hung out like this. Obviously, it was great. With seeing Abe and Castle Hill Gil. He came all the way out from New York, and James from Arizona, and even Ryan came out, and just so many people. It was just so many people. I got to see Lewis, my boy Lewis, and Vic was here, Pete, just so many. And I definitely want to give you guys that story, because that's what we do over here. But this has been the post-fight show. I still want you guys to call in next show and let me know. Why isn't he TBE, man? Why isn't he TBE? Robbie, you've been great. I am NesGTO at NesGTO on Twitter. And you can follow Robbie at Ringside Robert. And we're out of here.